train the dolphins. You must be familiar with the dolphins. It was about getting inside the dolphin's head and communicating. I say to the dolphin, okay. And then the dolphin say, okay, yeah. And he's up on the tail. And you can quote him.
You know, the fact that you remembered any Ace Ventura quotes that weren't, excuse me, your balls are showing, is crazy. You asked me to quote...
Bumblebee tuna.
I've only got excuse me, your balls are showing. That's the only one in the chamber.
I could probably have recite that entire film. At least the second one, but probably also the first.
Well, we've got 2 hours ago.
At least.
Go.
Well, the first part of the movie is there's not really much dialogue at all until he actually shows up at the fucking guy's house whose dog he's trying to take back for a chick that he gets head from later on so good that he has to hold on to the molding in her house.
This is not a child's movie, but
no.
As a child, I watched this a bunch.
Yeah, like my friend, who incidentally his name was also Matt, when I lived in the country, and I would just sit and replay it on VHS for fucking all day.
You got a country Matt and a city Matt?
Well, I don't have a country Matt anymore. I just got the city Matt.
Oh, country Matt got hit by a car, eh?
Given where you're from, you can fill both roles.
Okay. Country Matt and city Matt, they're really quite the pair. It's just me.
It's you with dissociative identity disorder.
The other Matt is dead. All right. Well,
Grindhouse Movie Club, everybody.
Grindhouse Movie Club on darkroastcult.com or even just grindhousemovie.club.
Fantastic.
Go there 100 times a day. Every time you see a computer screen, I need you to open up grindhousemovie.club. Thank you.
I'm gonna start printing out stickers and putting them on the bollards that keep people from running into the Tim Hortons in the drive-thru. Just to make sure everybody can see that link.
Hey, that's gonna...
Matter of fact, I'll do it at Starbucks because Lord knows you're already waiting 10 minutes to get your fucking drink. Just go to the site in the meantime.
Boom.
How's that?
Yeah, we'll make it say, like, are you impatient? Here.
Yeah.
Help.
Listen to 10 minutes of a fucking horror movie podcast while you wait for your fucking venti.
Barely get into the podcast before your coffee arrives to you.
Listen to the bullshit 10-minute long intro to the podcast where we don't even... start talking about the movie. That's the whole purpose of the podcast.
Yeah, every podcast, at least 10 minutes of baloney, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because you know how you come to the podcast for the baloney.
You're getting bang for your buck here.
Come for the baloney, stay for the stuffing. That's what I always say.
Yeah, it's the Thanksgiving dinner every week here on Grindhouse Movie Club.
It's a very sad Thanksgiving dinner every week.
By yourself?
Hey, we can't do turkey every week.
No.
Well, what do you think, we're made of turkey?
That much cranberry sauce will give you diarrhea. It's just like the cherries of Mama. It's the same thing.
You're gonna be, except at least there's the medical quality where your urethra will be just clear of any.
That's true.
Any infection.
You're gonna have a pristine urethra.
Your urinary tract is gonna be like the Indy 500 pre-game day.
You ever see Crank?
I have seen Crank.
So Jason Statham takes that epinephrine that he calls his doctor because he can't stop running. And the doctor's on an airplane and he's like, your urinary sphincter is as tight as a drum. You couldn't piss to save your life.
What's that got to do with the running?
I know, because he's rock hard while he's running. And he's in a hospital gown, so you just get to see his fucking whole dick. And like Jason Statham, he's not a small man.
I would hope not.
And it makes me wonder if, like, when they cast him,
I bet
they're just okay, let me see your penis, though.
I bet he's got a dong double.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Maybe he had a prosthetic.
Like a very realistic strap-on.
I think if I was running, the last thing I'd be able to do is stay hard.
Well, you got all that blood going elsewhere.
Right?
Also, like, that thing's just flopping around everywhere.
You could just have a policeman's flashlight-sized bruise on your abs, your lower torso, and on your thighs.
Oh my god.
So you just go to the nice website.
Yeah.
darkroastcult.com or just grindhousemovie.club. That'll take you right there. It'll save you 2 or 3 clicks.
Grindhouse Movie Club, where you learn that having a hammer is a blessing and a curse.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Speaking of people who are welcome, thanks Andrew for the fucking theme song.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Good job on that.
Thank you for the theme song. You really took that baseball and You didn't even knock it out of the park. You carried it out of the park,
Home.
and you took it on an airplane, and then you threw it in the ocean.
Yeah.
So-
no, he didn't give it to his son, though.
No,
that would
no.
have been the nice thing to do. No, he just chucked it into the water.
Oh, well, yeah. He took it above and beyond.
Like a corpse you don't want.
Yeah.
Just throw it in the ocean.
Well, then now it's the world's corpse. The world
That's
gets
true.
to enjoy that.
You know, you might have just discovered the secret to preserving the coral reefs that are dying in India because of all the pollution. Just
Huck
put bodies in that
Your
shit.
body
Yup.
into the ocean. Drown yourself. Drown yourself.
Drown yourself. Well, you mean that already.
Oh,
You took it elsewhere.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought we were lining up.
Speaking of drowning, we watched The Shining this week,
We sure did.
and high on the list of things I would like to not drown in is an elevator full of blood.
Pretty high on the list, yeah.
The
Yep.
most important thing about this movie is that the hotel that Jack Nicholson is supposed to be taking care of is on its period for way too long. Like it's a medical issue.
It's a heavy flow.
It is. It's a heavy flow right out of the elevator. Ruins the whole lobby.
A whole elevator full. That's like, and like, there's a weight limit there. It's 11 people.
I found out, I was reading through the, well, let's be honest, the fucking trivia page for this movie is the length of a Lord of the Rings book.
I didn't even look.
So I really skimmed it, but I found out that it took nearly a year to get that shot. They only did it 3 times, and it took 9 days to set up every time.
Why?
I have no fucking clue. All I know is that the common thread throughout shooting this film is that Stanley Kubrick was such a stickler for the way that he wanted things to look. He had this picture in his head that he had no problem inconveniencing literally everybody to achieve his goals.
Well, sometimes the things in your head are just insane.
Yeah.
And they can't be.
That's what he did his damnedest with this movie.
Well, I guess when you've got enough money, anything can be.
You got 2 sentences or less to spoil this movie?
Yeah. Being around your friend, your family, and only your family for an extended period of time will drive anybody crazy.
Yeah. This is like the living embodiment of being stuck on like Groundhog Day, but it's Christmas dinner. It's every day you wake up and it's Christmas dinner and your family's coming.
Yeah, and you know what? Every time they're just a little more racist.
Just a little, like,
Just a little more racist.
increasingly more racist as the blue-red elections in the States continue to progress here. I wrote a writer takes his family on the last vacation they'll ever need. And Stephen King wants the world to know the consequences of breaking an author's concentration mid-book.
So this will be Stephen King's. I don't know if it's his first story or his second story, but this will be the second story we've done by Stephen King where a writer is snowed in. Now, I'm wondering.
I'm noticing a theme, Stephen.
Do you think, because I'm sure he takes from his real life, do you think he might have been caught in a snowstorm once?
I could almost guarantee you that he just wanted to get milk at some point in his life and couldn't because he lives in shitty Maine.
And so he wrote 2 horror stories about it.
Yeah. 2 of his most popular horror stories about it. That's how pissed off he was about the snow.
About the inconvenience of having knee-deep snow one time.
Stephen King fucking hates winter.
And like he lives in Maine. He knows he should know it's coming.
Yeah, move literally anywhere southern.
I'm pretty sure Maine is more north than we are currently.
You're probably right. At the very least, I'm pretty sure Vermont is, which is where I believe, well, it begins in Vermont, or they're from Vermont anyway, and then it takes place in Colorado. Which is
way far away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Vermont touches Quebec.
Dude, I'm not going to pretend to have a fucking single clue where any state is that isn't Tennessee. That's the only one that I know exactly where it is because I went to a Waffle House there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can look at a map and I can tell you where Florida is.
Yes.
It's the only dick-shaped one.
You just look for the wiener. It's like an adult version of Where's Waldo.
Exactly.
Where's Wiener?
Big old wiener on this one. In this movie, we get a whole film. A whole film
this
where
is one.
They're inside of a hotel, and this is probably the only movie I can think of where like the hotel is the villain.
It's the bad guy.
You're
right.
You name another movie about a haunted house. That's actually the house is the problem and not ghosts within it.
Crimson Peak.
Okay.
I think.
What's that one?
It's the same principle where like the house has kept the spirits of those who died in it. And so it's the house's fault. Also Poltergeist.
Monster House.
Yeah, well, it's right there in the title. Paranorman.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
This movie's got my favorite intro, I think, out of all the movies.
Yeah.
I love that song. I want that to play at my funeral.
I want that song to play every time I enter a room.
That's fair.
And I want to be far, far below everybody watching. Because that's the whole... And I don't want to, like, retread old ground that literally everyone who's seen this movie and talked about it has discussed. Like, there's an entire documentary about this movie already. It's called Room 237, incidentally.
Post-Shinealopolis. I don't...
Shine 11.
Whoa!
There we go. That's the name of the documentary.
Wow, gotta get comfortable now. Man, that unsettled me hearing that.
But yeah, like, effective in that, okay, so we get this fucking dread soundtrack that, honestly, it's like throughout the entire movie. There are scenes that would be normal, and then you throw the most dreadiest music on in the background. Yeah, fucking Jack Nicholson is eating bacon in the bed.
Forehead rippling. Just rippling.
Forehead undulating like the tide.
Just like a bag of worms, this forehead.
His fucking forehead, dude.
Oh my god.
And then, yeah, like, I wanted to talk briefly about Steadicam because it was basically invented for this movie.
Okay.
All the scenes where, like, Danny is using the big wheel in the most annoying way that a child could ever ride a tricycle in a house.
Oh my god. You shouldn't ride that in the house.
It was shot with a guy in a wheelchair either being pushed or pulled by somebody else.
Okay.
Once you see how the sausage gets made, man.
You want a little less of that sausage every day.
Anyway, this is a helicopter shot at the beginning that nowadays would be done with a drone.
Yeah.
But I prefer the helicopter.
The whole time I'm watching this intro, I'm expecting a scary face to pop up.
Like the old jump scare.
Yeah.
The same thing. It's just like the car driving through the valley and then it's a zombie.
Yeah, if you're as old as I am, you know what I'm talking about.
You've seen plenty of the face of the chick from The Exorcist popping up while you're trying to complete a maze.
Yeah, and anytime I see just a car nonchalantly driving up a long windy road, I'm like, I put my hands up and I look through my fingers because I know it's coming.
Just hurry up and show me the zombie scream.
Yeah,
that peaks the audio of the video.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I'm still trying to buy that car in the commercial. Fuck off a little bit.
Oh shit. So after, we get master helicopter pilot, and then dude fucking drives 5 hours all the way to a hotel for a job interview, and he doesn't bring his family.
Well,
just like me.
Did you, like, when he does bring his family, like, did you see him have fun in the car ride at all?
Let's point this out real quick.
There's a good reason he didn't bring his family.
The happiest that Jack Nicholson's name in this movie is Jack.
Oh, yeah. Just to make things real easy for you.
The happiest that Jack is in this entire movie is when he's getting imaginary bourbon poured for him. That's the only time that you see him legitimately, like, smile out of joy.
And
alcohol in my mouth, please.
You see his eyebrows go all the way up.
Dude, they go up and down. They go all over the place in this movie.
He does the wave with them at one point.
You need a seatbelt to be Jack Nicholson's eyebrows.
So, this hotel, by the way, the exterior of the hotel is the Timbermine Lodge in Oregon.
Oregon, okay. So I thought it was actually in Vermont. My roommate just got back from a trip to one or the other, or both. I don't know. He drove, so probably both. But I'm pretty sure he stayed either in this hotel, in real life, or hotel adjacent. Like, he's very close to it.
Okay, well... I'm gonna. There's nothing adjacent to this shit. You saw. You saw the fucking intro.
No, this is the middle of shithead nowhere. And let's make that clear.
Would he stay on the top of the mountain?
They do the fucking job interview. He's applying to be a off-season caretaker for this hotel.
Yeah.
While it's completely shut down, despite it being on a mountain where skiing exists. But the roads are just so bad. You know, anybody who can afford to stay in this hotel is flying in. Mm-hmm. So just construct a landing strip. And it stops that whole problem from being one.
So, the whole job is he's taking care of this hotel. Then the way they make this job seem like it needs to happen is that You know, it's a 25-mile road. It's all windy.
They call it the Sidewinder.
Why would you name a road after a missile? I'm never going up that road. It's
never driving on that road ever.
It's gonna end in a small village somewhere and an explosion.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna take out a pharmaceutical factory of some kind.
We got this long road, and it's really expensive to maintain in the winter.
So we'll build our hotel right at the end of that road.
Well, now, Jay, this hotel was built in the 1900s, in the very beginning of I think it's 1907 is the year.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, that back then, nobody gave a fuck all about winter sports. And so building it on the snowy peak of this mountain, it's only good for a little part of the year.
Nobody cared about winter sports, so they built a hotel at a place where you could ski easily. And then just don't let you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing makes fucking perfect sense.
Even Jack Nicholson is like, might I ask why you do that? Seems the skiing would be fantastic all year round.
That's it. And he's just got no fucking... The dude's name is Ullman, this interviewer who runs the hotel.
Yeah,
by the way...
Bad name.
Yep, bad name. And
where's the first letter of your name? Is it Pullman? Is it Mullman? You can't just...
Don't just start a sentence halfway through the sentence.
Yeah, come on.
He seems very intimately acquainted with literally every person who's ever stayed in his hotel ever.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, you do the tour later on, and it's just, he's like saying bye to people like he's known them for years.
It's a very culty hotel.
Yes.
It seems like they do, all the rich people come, and they're like, all right, guys, at 9 p.m., we're going to meet here. This is where we spill the blood.
Yeah, follow the red candles.
But then, like, a regular hotel guest comes like, blood. I mean, the fantastic skiing we don't do. So my point was, like, so the outside of this place is the Timbermine Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
The interior of this hotel is an amalgam of sets that are all designed after various famous hotels around America.
Now, I don't know if the intention was to give the illusion that the place is bigger than it is, but that's certainly how I felt.
Well, yeah.
Because you go into one corridor and it's like the color scheme is totally different. Just like the furniture is different and everything. They have architects come in to like individually design just one room and then get the fuck out.
Apparently.
So it looks like it's like you're fucking in a small indoor city in this hotel.
Yeah. Every doorway is a whole new world.
I also found out that a lot of the corridors in the hallways don't make sense because Stanley Kubrick wanted long takes. So the set designers had to make it so that you could like come in and out of one room 3 different ways.
Okay.
So just confusing as fuck.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty confusing. So when I watched this movie, I texted you that there was something that really peeved me off.
Yeah, and I've been violently curious.
Okay, violently.
As to what it is.
Okay, so we'll start with the opening shot here. You get that big sweeping, here's the hotel on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
What's missing from the shot, Jay?
Well, the hotel, I think.
No, the hotel's there.
Oh, it's right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's car?
Mm-mm.
No.
As a man-child, you tell me there's a fucking hedge maze? That's what I'm looking for. I want to see a top down of that hedge maze because I want the answer.
You do get to see one. Kinda.
Dude, this hedge maze is in the parking lot of the hotel.
It is.
It's not in any shot of the actual hotel because the hotel in the movie is a set. The outside is a set. Watch it. When you look at it, the hotel goes from being a great big building to when they get in front of it, it's a teeny, it's like 2 sizes too small. And it doesn't even look the same.
The hotel's like the Grinch's heart.
It is. It is. So this hotel, it's just a wall.
Yeah.
For any of the shots where they're actually in front of it, where they're walking around in front, it's a set.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wall. It's just a wall, and it doesn't look like the hotel exactly, but it's close enough that you don't question it.
Oh my god.
And
I didn't even pay attention to this. This is fantastic.
So when you look at that, you don't see the mountain behind it ever.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when it's the set, they try to like hide the fact that it's a set by they built up this big dirt wall and just put like a row of Christmas trees on it so that you can't see.
You were really looking at this set, picking it apart in your head.
Well,
for all of the 5 minutes that you see it for in the movie.
Where's the hedge maze, Jay?
Where's the hedge maze?
The famous hedge maze
that's like twice the size of the hotel anyway.
And it's as old. It's this famous hedge maze.
Yeah.
They don't even CG it in. They don't even tape. They don't even put like tape down and just like put it over top. You know, it's not there. And then all of a sudden it's there, and then it's not there, and then all of a sudden they're driving a snowcat up this hill.
Just nowhere. Yeah.
Where's the road? The snowcat came up the road, Jay.
I was annoyed by that whole section of the movie for a couple of reasons that I'll get into. You raise a good point.
You're telling me Stanley Kubrick couldn't erect a fake hedge wall for
just
this
in front of the hedge maze so you could see it.
Sweeping shot of the hotel, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, there is a hedge maze, right? It's just you have to see it from a certain angle.
My headcanon is that this hedge maze is an optical illusion.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's just two people lost in the forest.
It's there, it's not there, it's there, it's not there.
That fucking hedge maze is the worst part of the whole movie. Easily. It didn't need to be in there. For a bunch of reasons, it didn't need to be in there.
All I want is a hedge maze.
All it did was cause trouble for everyone.
Well, that's the hotel, man.
Fucking...
Every movie that's got a hedge maze in it better have a shot top down so that you can, in your head, do the hedge maze.
Well, when Wendy, which is Jack's wife, and their son Danny are in it, he does look down as he's going slowly insane at I think it's like a diagram of it, and then you get that shot of them as it goes in closer. I thought that was pretty neat. It was. You do that, but you can't just fucking toss a hedge maze. I'm highly confused as to how he achieved that one. But this hedge maze is the size, if you had a party of 6 people, one of you might die if you go in it. It's 13 feet high. Unless you're really good at cutting hedges, you might get lost and starve to death. Even the hotel fucking Mr. Ullman himself is like, I don't go in there unless I've got a couple hours to spare. Also, okay, but how busy is his fucking life? Okay? There's 50 people maintaining this hotel underneath him. All he does is sit at a desk all day. Oh, he doesn't go in there unless he's got a couple hours to spare. So I wait till 2 p.m. after I've had my lunch. Yeah. I don't go in there drunk, though. Oh, I only go in there drunk. You don't come out. No, I don't. For at least a day, because you fall asleep, and then you finish it in the morning when you're sobered up. That's exactly how it happens. The only time to do this hedge maze is in the winter so that you can see the footprints, which becomes a thing. Yeah, that's a real problem. He's a child, so we're not going to blame him for not thinking. Yeah. Ullman's secretary looks like Meryl Streep, and fucked my shit up when I saw this movie, I think, for the first time when I was quite young. Because I was like, that's Meryl Streep, isn't it? Are you talking about Susie? Why isn't she being top billed in this movie? Fucking Susie? Oh, it's just fucking Meryl Streep's younger sister. It looks exactly like her. It's fucked. I don't know. It's Meryl Streep's. I just picture an old lady. Sophie's Choice. Never seen it. It's about a woman with a tough choice. Deciding whether or not to save Jews in the Holocaust, I believe. It's a whole movie about that, huh? Yeah, there's a couple. And she's like, do I? Schindler's List is another notable one. Do I? Do I not? Just kidding. I'll save you, Jews. You know what? Let's flip a coin. Then the Jews are like, what? Come on now. Shelley Duvall, so while he's at this fucking job interview briefly, Shelley Duvall, which is Wendy and Danny, are at home, and she's just reading Catcher in the Rye with her 5-year-old son nearby, like a psychopath. Yeah. How do you not expect her to be the murderer? Jack Nicholson sort of has a little bit of a John Lennon haircut. I'm pretty sure that's what that guy read before he blew that guy's brains out. Yeah, definitely somebody read Catcher in the Rye and then killed somebody. Yeah, I don't know. That happened for sure. We read it in school. So it might have been Nixon, an assassination attempt on Nixon or something. Who knows? If you know, you're probably American, and you're probably typing to us right now. Our email's grindhousemovieclub@gmail.com. You probably had to read that shit when you were way too young to read the N-word on the page. Wow. Yes. And there was a couple books like that. Yep. A couple books that I had to sit through. I think we got the nice version, though. So you snapped about that hedge maze in spectacular fashion, and I want to point out that the fucking Catcher in the Rye book that Wendy is reading when we begin that scene is already dog-eared, which means that she isn't reading shit. Okay, for this scene, you gotta open the book to this page. And then she puts it down without flipping any. I did notice that it was dog-eared. Fucker. Well, hey, that's fine. Look, this movie's the 1980s. We can't expect it to be perfect. That's true. But it's Stanley Kubrick. God, try your best. Stanley Kubrick is as close to autistic as you can get without actually being it.
I don't know.
In the way,
I don't know nothing about
he is,
that.
he's so fucking, he's like angrily specific, and just puts cast and crew through hell for like 3 years to make this movie.
Wow, they really didn't need 3 years to make this movie.
I was exaggerating.
Okay, good.
It's not that long.
Thank God.
I do know that Shelley Duvall eventually was losing clumps of hair at a time because of how stressed out emotionally she was.
She looks like she's stressed out all of the time.
She definitely does, and do yourself a favor as a listener and don't look up what she looks like now. Because she looks like, well, not good.
Well, she looks like she's aged, which is generally the...
Factually accurate, number one.
It's been 32 years, Jay.
But,
32.
Yeah, but she also looks like the human embodiment of the carriage that Cinderella rides to the ball.
A pumpkin?
After midnight.
A horse.
She looks like a combination of a horse and a pumpkin after midnight.
All
right?
At the beginning of Jack's interview, the boss is like, "Hey, you want a coffee?" And Jack's like, "Yeah, I'll have one if you're having one." And then,
not a coffee in sight for Jack?
Well, no. He turns to his secretary Susie, and he's like, "Susie," not asking her if she wants one.
Just go get the coffee for the men. The misogyny in this movie is actually on fucking full display.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
A lot of the time.
Yep.
That's just one. Yeah, Susie's kind of whole job here is probably to answer the phone and get coffee for men.
And to be, like, seen and not heard.
Yeah. Right here, I noticed that Jack Nicholson sometimes delivers just regular conversational lines like a serial killer. Like, if you look in his face when he says some things, he really looks like he just got done murdering and is excited to do it again.
Oh my God. He has the look on his face like somebody has grabbed whatever loose skin is on the back of his head. A la Men in Black.
Yeah.
Give me some sugar and
water.
And like, it's that and then just worms in the forehead just writhing.
He's infected by parasites.
He's got the Joker grin and just a wavy forehead this entire film.
God.
And the way he talks is very like, "Hi, I'm Jack Nicholson, and this is what you're gonna do your impression of for the rest of my life."
Yeah, it's Jack Attack every day of Jack Nicholson's life. Fucking right away. Hey man, thanks for making the 5-hour drive to this hotel. We need you to be the caretaker. Mostly it's turning dials on boilers in the basement. By the way, the last people who had this job are dead from murder. Doesn't that entice you?
You know,
the way that fucking Ullman delivers that shit to him is like, I want to make sure that you know, this hotel's going to make you kill your family and then yourself because it's literally happened. Do you want the job still? Are you sure you want the job still? I was a little concerned when I brought this up. I'm going to say it real casually to you.
Oh, no. He says it so casually. What he says.
Yeah.
The tragedy of 1970 was Charles Grady. He came to do the job in the winter. And then he goes, very normal guy, very good guy, seemed like a great guy. So at some point during the winter, I don't know, he must have run amok, killed his family with an axe, and piled their bodies in a room.
The face that Ullman makes during this conversation is like, it's right on the tip of my tongue what he did here. And I can't quite remember. Oh, he killed his family.
Yeah,
and then he blew his head off with a shotgun.
He put both barrels of the gun in his mouth. I know that because there was one great big hole.
Pissed off, by the way, later on, once the haunting is in full effect, you get to see Grady with his head split open from an axe, despite the fact that he shot himself in the face.
It's a good point.
You know?
It's a good point.
And he's like, lovely party.
Oh, I don't, was that Grady?
It was.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
don't know anybody else who got axed to death.
I figured it because it's a hotel of just evil. That's just another bad thing that's happened to some person.
I'm fairly certain it was. At the very least, it was Cubald Butler, and you only get to see one of those in the movie.
I don't know. So yeah, we cut to mother and son having a very 80s conversation, very cigarette smoking next to a child eating a sandwich conversation.
No problem smoking indoors with my kid who's sick.
I wrote here, that Like this kitchen is everything I picture when I think of the 80s. Also, the mom is too. She looks like the 70s weren't so good to her.
It's exactly what she fucking looks like.
Oh my God.
You know that if Jack Nicholson had a full head of hair, he could have landed a much better looking wife.
Well, again, the 70s were rough to him too.
Yeah, they must have been.
So this is where we find out that the boy is insane.
Yeah.
Insane, got no brain.
Inside of the membrane.
Oh, yeah, the inside of his membrane is all rotten. It's no good.
It's fucked right up in there.
It's no good brain.
Yeah, and how do we know this? Oh, because he talks to his own index finger.
And sometimes his index finger does the talking.
Yeah, a lot in this movie.
And I think this is like where the Yellow Page slogan, remember the 90s Yellow Pages, let your fingers do the talking?
Mm-hmm. I think it's walking, but...
Well, either way, it's a terrible, like, because it's a telephone thing, so why are your fingers walking?
Through the pages as you flip them. Yeah. It's not the greatest. Listen, the bar for slogans is already painfully low, okay? Case in point, Mary Brown's at Christmas will put up billboards that say, wish upon a Big Mary. Pisses my friend Joe right off. He hates it.
Does he know a Big Mary?
No, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
I bet you go in there and a Big Mary is like a delicious treat.
Why would I wish upon it though? I'm going to eat it.
You wish on it, then you eat it. It's like if you're too old to understand Christmas magic, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
I found out that Santa was dead very early in my life.
He's not dead. He doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Dead. Same damn thing.
No,
right? It's the same thing. I'm sure there was a Santa at some point that existed and was alive in like 1700 or some shit. I don't know how old Christmas traditions are. Probably old as Jesus. So 0. Fuck. We get fucking Jack horribly foreshadowing his own demise during that interview by saying, well, you can rest assured that what happened to Grady isn't going to happen with me.
Yeah, that's not going to happen to me.
Man, I sure hope the thing that's going to happen doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think your family, do you think they're going to take to it? Oh, they'll love it. My wife is a confirmed ghost story and horror novel enthusiast.
So I'll tell her about the real life murder that happened in this hallway where we have to walk down for 5 months.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise her with that when we get here, though. I'm not going to, I don't want to spoil it, you know? I would hate for her to have a second thought about this.
Also, like, yeah, if you had listened to your kid, none of these problems would be any, because he's like, I don't want to go to this fucking shit. There's there's nobody I could be friends with. I'm just stuck with Tony, the little boy that lives in my mouth, and these 2 twin sisters who are ghosts.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who are murdered ghosts.
Hey.
What a piece of shit imaginary friend to have that he shows you death and murder. He shows you death when you're trying to brush your fucking teeth in the afternoon. That's it. Tony is a fucking dick to this kid. All movie.
I wish that...
Hey, you want to go to this hotel? How about an elevator full of blood? And then a seizure. You still want to go?
You having a nice vacation, Tony? His name's not Tony. Tony's the finger.
Yes. Danny is the child. Also in the book, apparently his name's Anthony, so Tony is his nickname, so Tony is just himself. Anyway, it's dumb.
I don't like they changed that.
So they changed a lot of very silly things, like the ending of this movie is not the ending in the book, even remotely.
Oh, what's the book?
I'm not sure. All I know is that Stephen King fucking hates this movie and hates Stanley Kubrick for making it.
All right.
He made a lot of like executive decisions that Stephen King was like, Also, Stanley used to call him at 3 a.m. randomly and ask him if he believed in God while they were shooting it. Imagine getting that phone call from a fat glasses man who's ruining your book.
Stanley, I need to sleep.
Now is not the time.
I'm writing about a scary clown in the morning. I've got things to do.
I gotta finish this book about the car that kills people. And this book about the truck that kills people.
Do you know how many people are killed by a gigantic dog? I've got to write that.
I need everyone to know about it. And then also, don't try and resuscitate your cats after they die.
We are dousing a very ugly teen in blood. And I need all the sleep I can get.
Oh, that poor woman does not look good, does she? Oh, jeez. So fucking Danny gets visions of fucking blood elevator and then some other stuff. And then we get a doctor showing up who's way too familiar with the child patient.
I hate this. It's
the fucking weird ass scene.
This is my least favorite. Doctoring medicine has come a long way since the 80s, and it's very clear.
That's true.
It's very clear. This doctor,
Yeah,
we'll call her.
We're going to use the finger quotes on that one.
For sure, comes to their house.
Well, okay, doctors do make house calls. In the UK, it happens all the time.
Yeah, sure. But, you know, I don't think you can just be like, let me diagnose this neurological issue without the use of machinery. He's okay. I slapped him on the head and he didn't.
Yeah, I slapped him on the head and he didn't lapse into a coma.
Yeah.
So he's probably fine. This doctor's way of figuring out whether or not a child has epilepsy is to get within inches of their face and stare deeply into their soul about it and then go, nah.
She's the seizure whisperer.
Why all of this examination happens above the belt, but Danny has no pants on?
No, he doesn't.
He's totally pantsless, despite only having his head and eyes looked at.
Mm.
And then they go into the other room, and this doctor turns into a therapist and pries into the nature of their relationship and the family in general. And then Wendy goes, you know, this is kind of a silly story, you know. It's probably not a big deal, and it's funny,
it's
you know.
It's an inside joke around the house, really.
Yeah, we think about it and laugh before bed. One time, my husband came home drunk and ripped my child's arm off. Ripped it right out of its socket.
Yeah, he was
where it's supposed to stay.
He was doing his homework on the floor, so yeah, he just went ahead and he damn near pulled the kid's arm clean off.
Yeah. Isn't that silly?
And that's why we had to move to a different state because
I didn't even put that part together. It's like, yeah, we had to leave in disgrace, and he's not a school teacher anymore. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh,
it sounds like
God.
You did maybe a little bit more than just pull an arm. Also, later on in the movie, and this is fucked.
The timeline gets a little foggy.
There's a couple theories as to why. One of them is that because the theme of the movie is rewriting history, that he's just changing things as he becomes more and more possessed by the hotel. But the other thing is, like, the whole point of the story is, yeah, he hasn't drank in 5 months because he was loaded when he beat the shit out of our child. But then it's like he says 3 years, I think.
Like 3 to 5, I forget.
So it's in the book. There's another reason why he stops drinking. It's because him and his friend run over a bike when they're wasted driving home. But it doesn't come up.
Just a bike?
Yeah, no kid, just bike.
Okay.
But it scares the shit out of him. So he's like, okay, I'm not going to drink anymore.
That'll do it.
But that means that in the canon, it still took 2.5 years for him to be like, maybe my drinking is the problem. Well, 2.5 years of dislocating children's shoulders.
I've been snapping this boy fucking once a month. You telling me this is bad for my liver?
This fucking boy looks like mama, and I think it's my fault.
Wow, I can't play catch with my boy anymore. I think I've got a problem.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to his throwing arm.
He's doing that fucking Fortnite dance with just the... You know the one.
Yes, I do.
It's all shoulders, no arms. So yeah, I don't know why they even bring this up, but when the doctor's there, they're like, yeah, so Danny talks to his finger.
Yeah.
A little boy lives in his mouth. Mm-hmm. And doctor's
hides
like...
in his stomach.
Yeah, what is up with that? You sure about that? That seems painful, but the doctor's like, well, you want to tell me a little bit more? And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. Okay.
Well, I guess that's the end of the conversation.
Have fun in bed.
You just uncovered a horrible thing that's probably a psychological issue.
Yeah, well...
I'll see you later.
The doctor tells Wendy there's nothing physically wrong with him.
Made sure to say physically.
Yep, and then I'm the physical doctor. I only do the physical doctoring.
So I'm going to ask you about, your home life. Cut to fucking, we're driving right back up. So this is what I mean. Like, if you wanted the job and you were going to get it, bring your whole family up. That way you're saving 10 hours of driving. Well, because then you have to go home, collect your family, which he's so bad at, and then go back.
Well, you don't want to be the guy who doesn't get the job, and then like the guy like looks out the window and the family's there like, huh? And you're like, and just like there's like the fucking pile of just belongings on top of the car, just tied down.
Their shitload of luggage that they have like fucking 15 bags.
Well, they're going to be there for months.
Right in this drive, though, is when you find out that if Danny didn't know about the horrible murders, he's going to find out in a very short period of time because it's snowy out, so we'll discuss cannibalism.
Oh, yeah, let's open right up about the Donner Party.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation with our child.
Yeah, well, all he has to do is ask after it once, and really not going to put up a fight about saying this horrible thing to a 6-year-old.
Ah, well, he read about it in a book once, so it's no big deal.
Right,
that we're
or
talking
like he
about
saw it on TV, and it's like, what are you letting your child watch at home? I don't remember that National Geographic documentary.
Me either. No. I believe that was one of the ones without boobs, so I probably didn't see it.
Yeah, without African boobs. That's really... with that being said, plenty of African boobs in this movie. There are at least 2 sets of African boobs in this movie.
Oh, Scatman Carruthers in his interior decorating.
He has got the best laid out bedroom in the entirety of the United States.
He's got a nude lady on every wall he's going to be looking at.
Right above his TV, and when he gets sick of that one, all he has to do is look up because there's another one above his bed.
Oh, Scatman. No, and first of all, there are 2 Scatmen.
Yes, there are.
We're not talking about Scatman John.
Is that his shithead name?
That's his name.
Unoriginal.
He's dead.
Okay. So Scatman Carruthers, I'm pretty sure.
And Scatman Carruthers is also dead.
Yeah. One of them is very black, and I don't know if the other one is.
Oh, no. The other one is Scabadooba-dabba-dibba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba.
I don't think I ever saw his skin color, though.
Oh, picture Scatman John. And I think you're picturing the right.
Yeah.
So
if he were dark-skinned, his last name would be something closer to Carruthers.
Woo! Jay! No!
I'm sorry. Am I blind? I thought Scatman Carruthers was a black man. I didn't... I must have misseen.
Our mutual friend Adam Skinner goes out of his way to edit the Scatman John Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Because in real life, Scatman John, he's dead.
Yep.
His ashes were scattered at sea.
They were Scatmaned at sea.
Well, Adam goes in there and he changes scat to SKATTER and then puts quotes around it. And that's all he does. And then he leaves.
Oh my God. I love it. He's just pissing off one poor fat guy in a basement somewhere.
Scatman John's son.
Oh, it's 3:00. I better go re-edit that page to not be wrong again.
We scattered his ashes, not scattered his ashes. Oh, shit.
So, at no point does this trip seem like a positive for anybody. Jack is like, he's hard up. First of all, Jack Nicholson, again, notoriously unhappy in this movie. It seems like his life was already in shambles, and like this is like the last opportunity for him to get his shit together a little bit with his family.
He sure does make it seem like that.
And it goes horribly for everyone. And it's like, again, if you're going to spend 5 months with just your family, probably make sure you like them first.
Yeah.
You don't get there's like 2 scenes in the whole movie where Jack interacts with his son at all, and one of them is talking about cannibalism, and the other one is where he grabs him and puts him on his lap, and his face looks like, if one false move and you're dead now.
That's a scene where
like, really trying to get you to admit that you like the hotel. And I'm going to make it clear that I don't actually care about your feelings. I just need you to say out loud that you like the hotel to me.
And that's just the hotel trying to just get its confidence up.
And I'm going to
hope that boy likes me. I hope that young boy likes me.
I brought down 2 friends for him to play with.
That whole scene where, he's just trying to be like, just say you like the hotel, Danny. Danny's just like looking forward, like
not at all enthused about a hug from my father. Like this is I don't trust anything that's happening right now.
The love in this family.
Yeah,
it's just a good loving family story.
They show up with all that luggage and they're getting a tour of the hotel. Jack goes, I better collect my family, and then just gets his wife. Leaves his kid in the games room alone on closing day of a hotel. Everybody that you see in this hotel is like cleaning shit because they're leaving tonight. And you're just going to leave a child alone with with dozens of strangers. And pray to God that you see him in the morning.
Pretty much. Also, you're going to leave him alone with strangers and darts? What the fuck? Like just real ass darts.
3 real darts. Here, play with these sharp things for a while. Leave me the fuck alone.
Just throw them around the room.
Yeah.
I don't care.
The kid sucks at darts also. He doesn't get him anywhere near the bullseye.
We're just lucky he didn't stick him right in the nice wood wall.
Fucking human-sized fireplace in the Colorado lounge in this hotel. That, you know, like everything is big and sweeping. The most whitewashed colonialism hotel.
Oh my God.
On the face of the planet.
All right.
We built this on an Indian burial ground. First of all, it's Native American, you fucks.
I wanted to make sure, like, I don't think they came out and said it, but like, come on now. I'm pretty sure that that's what this is about.
We built this on a native burial site, a sacred Native American burial site. And then, in the midst of fighting off tribes people that really didn't want white people around here, we took all of their things and just put them in the hotel. Like, there's pictures of fucking native chiefs.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, these stained glass windows, yeah, we just ripped those off from people who were here already.
Yeah, like there's like a lot of this. So the Colorado room it's like a native motif.
Yeah,
and like
it's not even like the only place in the hotel that's like this.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's bad.
And Shelley's like, oh, this is nice. I like all the artwork. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't know nothing about any of this. It could be real. Who cares?
All I know is that it's probably Navajo. Who the fuck? They're all the same.
And then the second Jack Nicholson is alone in that room, he's just heaving a tennis ball around, like
chucking, not giving a fuck about what he breaks as the caretaker to this hotel.
Oh yeah.
Like 20 feet, he's trying to bounce this fucking ball around like he's playing wall. Remember Asshole?
Yeah.
It's like that, but by yourself.
Yeah, he's heaving this ball, bouncing it in between like a nice mural and then like a buffalo, like mounted buffalo head, and then like some native art below that, and he's just like, woohoo!
Yeah, fuck it. My white fun. So fucking, this is where I wrote down that, like, Ullman must get mad laid, because he's just got, like, hot and cold running young pussy on tap at this hotel all day. And he knows everyone. He's like, all right, see you later, girls.
Well, look, here's the issue, all right? Look, this part of this little tour didn't age very well.
Which part?
Well, it's the part where they're in the Colorado room, and Ullman's like, yo, yeah, so we get a lot of important people staying here. A lot of big names coming through here. And then Wendy's like, royalty? And she's like, oh, yeah, only the best.
And he knows all the women by name. Some of them are young. Ullman.
Is there even any good royalty? I don't think so.
I don't know that there is.
I don't think so.
I guess Meghan Markle's all right.
Sure.
But she, like, pieced out. She's like, fuck this old weird incest shit.
Yeah. Who's that lady? That's the lady from the 20.
Suits.
Think I can get her autograph?
Anyway, yeah, this fucking hotel is just white decadence right on top of, sacred land. So that's good.
Yeah, there's some racial undertones. There's some... in the scene where... Jack is wandering around pissed off, and he happens into the ballroom, the gold ballroom, and this ghost is pouring him shots.
G looks like a C. I'm pretty sure that was deliberate. So it's called the gold room, but it looks like it says the cold room, and that's incidentally where the most ghosts are. Okay.
So yeah, there's a ghost bartender, and he's like, You line him up, I'll knock him down. White man's troubles, eh?
Yeah,
what the fuck does that mean?
No, he says white man's burden.
Oh boy,
which is alcohol, which is a Firewater reference.
Oh,
deliberate racism. Not the only time, and not even the worst.
So that's the only time, and that's boy oh boy. Boy, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. But
so on the topic of misogyny during this hotel tour, Ullman just straight up goes, hey, help, because the only black person in this entire movie is the cook, and goes, hey, just do you want to take Jack's wife to the kitchen where she's probably going to be spending the majority of her time? And then I'll continue the rest of the tour with the man elsewhere. First of all, what if Jack is a cook and he wants to see the kitchen? What if he's like a great chef? You just assumed that the woman is going to be doing the cooking, so you better get your fucking head around this giant kitchen.
I didn't even catch that.
Whoops.
Stephen Kingill.
Yeah.
Stephen J. Kingingston.
Yes, use his proper name. You get to see the snowcat shamefully low amount of use that this snowcat, if that thing was on my property, I would be driving it just cuz.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be taking sick jumps and shit in that.
It's
a bulldozer with two levers, like you're playing Micro Machines.
If I was Ullman, I would be, if anytime I had to go anywhere, I would leave one door, get in the snowcat. I would do a lap around the building and just go right back in that same door if I had to.
It's the fucking winter equivalent of a monster truck. You're telling me that you're not just plowing through the hedge maze in that thing?
I mean, I was thinking about it would be kind of fun to just like plow the hedge maze.
Yes.
Like clean it out.
Yeah.
Real nice. And it'd take you 3 years to do it, but
it's like playing Snake.
It's like don't touch the side.
Yeah.
One of those kinds of games.
It's like an Operation Hedge Maze.
Oh, my God. So
the walk-in freezer, Scatman Crothers goes, this is where we keep all of our meat.
You like meat?
Now, I thought at first that this was like an interesting foreshadowing reference because later on, Jack gets locked in the preserves room.
Yes, he does.
When he's horribly possessed. But those are two different rooms. So fuck me for trying to put little cool twos together in a movie.
Yeah.
Whoops.
No, those twos didn't add to 4.
Fucking... We're gonna. I don't remember what his name is. It's Dick Hallorann. I just called him Boo Radley in my notes because I'm horrible.
I just call him Scatman because that's his literal name.
Yeah, in real life, that's his name. He gets right in Danny's face and screams, "What's up, Doc?"
Oh my!
Like a stranger getting 2 inches from you and screaming a Bugs Bunny line in your face.
Here we go.
That'll endear you.
So when he does that at first, he's like he just offhandedly calls Danny Doc. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's important. I remember.
Right.
Because he's Dr. Sleep.
Fuck that dumb shit.
But
never seen it, won't.
And I was like, oh yeah, so he calls him Doc for whatever reason. That's important. I remember that. And I was like, it's probably going to come up later. Mm-hmm. Nah, they take 2 steps out in the hallway, and he's like, hey, you know why I called you Doc? Yeah. We really need to make sure people get this point in the movie.
We're going to fist this ham right into the viewer's face. Yeah, let's leave my child alone with a man that I just met 5 minutes ago, long enough to have a very close and intimate conversation with him over ice cream.
Hey, you want ice cream? We were just going to go get to the ice cream part of the tour.
I'm going to Florida tonight. Like, fuck. They really just don't give a shit what this kid does, like the whole movie.
It's the 80s.
He's got an entire hotel and he's just triking around by himself for like 70% of this film.
Growing up in the 80s. That's what it's about.
This is when we get the ham-fisted explanation of ESP, where it's like, yeah, me and my fucking grandmother used to talk to each other without actually talking because we could telekinetically connect. You could also do it. You know what? By the way, it's going to show you some really bad shit. Like, it's going to show you death. It's going to show you people being murdered because that's what is left behind when people get murdered. All right, see ya.
Yeah.
What about, I saw room 237. Hey, don't you fucking go in there. Don't you ever go in there. Stay the fuck out of that room.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's like, Danny's like, so, is there anything bad in this hotel? And he's like, no, there's nothing bad in there, but you never go in that room.
He doesn't even say no to a child to reassure them, to make them, like, to quell their concern about being in danger. He's not like, no, there's nothing bad. He goes, yeah, there's bad shit, and you're gonna see it.
You know what he says? You know what he says, there ain't nothing.
Yeah.
He double negatives the fuck out of it. So yeah, there is something, and don't you ever go in that room.
Also, like, the worst liar to a child on earth. Like, his entire demeanor and tone changed once Danny asked about that. I was like, are you scared of it? No! No, I'm not, I promise!
I just don't go in that room.
Hey, there's nothing to be scared of in that room. By the way, don't ever step foot in it.
Yeah, oh
like,
my God.
Unless he's got just mountains of black playboys in that room specifically. What other reason could he possibly have for trying to keep that room a secret? It's like, that's my porn room.
I really like that the cook has a room like that.
He must. It's a huge hotel.
Nice hotel.
Let's talk about how nice the hotel is.
Oh, hold on. Before we do that, so yeah, he's like, is there anything bad? And he's like, nah, there's nothing bad. But then, so he explains to Danny how The Shining works.
Yes.
And how, like, the hotel collects souls in the same way where he worded it very nicely. He put, like,
yeah,
it's like burning toast, you know? Mm-hmm. You know you burnt it.
You know how you smell burnt toast sometimes? Which is an interesting thing to ask a kid who just had a seizure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But he's like, yeah, you know, you can smell the burnt toast, but not everybody can. That's The Shining. And the dead bodies are the burnt toast smell, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're still around.
Well, stay the fuck out of that room.
Peace.
I'll be in Miami if you need me. On the opposite side of the country.
Not to mention, really, really trustworthy to the first telekinetic conversation that he tries to have with Danny is, you fucking like ice cream? I'm going to ask you and you alone if you like ice cream. That's a safe adult.
Oh my god. This whole time that he's explaining The Shining, and Danny's just like looking at him like he doesn't want to talk about it to the only other person who has the ability.
I've been sitting on this Tony in my fucking mouth for the entirety of my childhood here. I'm just going to keep it to myself though, because it doesn't like it.
And so like so Dick Scatman asks him some real ass questions about Tony that make Tony seem like a real tangible person who is grooming this child through telekinesis.
Does Tony ever show you things?
Does Tony talk to you about things? What does Tony talk to you about? I can't say. Oh boy.
Tony told me not to tell anybody about what he was showing me.
Somebody telekinetically call the police.
You think you'd be able to use that to patch into the fucking what's it called there? The switchboard that the fire or rangers use? Yeah,
this switchboard or some shit.
That's another. I know that The Taking of Deborah Logan is not on your list of movies for this week, but you would be able to fit it in because that's how she communicates with the devil in that film. So I wanted to point out that this hotel it took fucking like what, a year and a half to construct or something?
Oh, probably.
Obviously millions of dollars because it's the fucking most white decadent hotel on earth. So they put up the caretaker and his family, and you get to see inside of room 237. It's quite luxurious in there.
It's the nicest room in it has to be the nicest room in the hotel.
I bet you it's not, which is sort of my point. They put this family up who are in charge of taking care of this multi-million-dollar establishment, essentially in the kind of apartment that you would see in like a Brooklyn 4-story walk-up.
Where, yeah, the parents' bedroom doesn't have a door; it's got a curtain.
No door. 5 feet away from Danny's room, so you know that he can hear them banging if they do, which they will because it's 5 months of isolation in a hotel.
And if Danny's got to piss, he's got to walk by that.
Yeah, because the bathroom is just past their bedroom.
So
why couldn't you have given them one of the nice rooms? He goes, you can spread out if you want, and they just never do.
Look, you tell me... Look,
thanks, I feel at home here because I'm a poor ex-teacher.
I get this entire hotel room for months.
Mm-hmm.
The second that guy's gone, I'm going to the suite on the penthouse floor.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is where I live, actually. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Really appreciate you showing me the room that I'll not stay in.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Because it looks about as impoverished as we are.
This is really sad. I think I'd actually prefer to have a vacation.
The fucking room looks like shit.
It's like the wing for the help. All of the maids and stuff, they sleep in like these like the dingy looking 80s looking houses.
The room that you would put up the guy that like works the bellows on the Titanic.
Yeah, well, and it's a little nicer than that. They have that nice curtain that keeps Danny from seeing his dad's undulating naked ass. Well, he just flops around on top of poor Shelley Duvall and her lit cigarettes that just the ash just extends for
it
meters.
Does because she lights a cigarette to take one drag and then she just lets it burn out in her fingers all movie.
The ash to her cigarettes are holding it together better than a lot of people these days. I don't like it's an art form almost the way those that ash just balances and stays together like that.
As a smoker, I can tell you that doesn't happen. One small breeze, like you could exhale lightly on a cigarette and that ash is gone.
Well, that's why Shelley Duvall is the artist.
Holy fuck. So yeah, like mad because Wendy goes all out like first night. We're here. This is night 1. I'm going to make my husband breakfast in bed. Let me just get out all of the fine tinware in the kitchen as if I'm not the one who's going to have to do the dishes. Mm-hmm. She fucking, it's like I don't even know. It's like the most expensive fucking ballroom party fucking tableware ever. That's the shit that, like, in Looney Tunes, that's what, like, it's Porky Pig with an apple in his mouth underneath the lid.
The dome, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all domed, and, like, you flip it up, and it's just steam.
So she's just making work for herself. She does that a lot in this movie. Later on, Jack knocks over a bunch of, like, fucking goblets and stuff when he's all pissed off crazy. And my first thought was like, man, Wendy's got her work cut out for her tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he did the loudest thing in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like, you up in the help wing, they hear that, and like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Shit.
I just piled up
And, like,
all those goblets.
That's the thing that, like, it echoes through the entire... Somebody is, like, in the bar area cleaning. They're like, fuck! I gotta walk a kilometer.
So it is 1 month later, and we get like this exterior shot of the hotel. No maze in sight.
So pissed about the
no
maze,
maze
dude.
in sight, even though they've...
Just got so pissed off with the maze.
I'm certain they've already walked through the maze at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They've already it was the first day, and the mom's like, hey, let's go for a walk. It's nice out. And he's like, nah, I got to do some writing.
Yeah.
So then they go in the maze, and then there's no writing happens. Not a single lick of writing happens.
Yeah, it takes Jack less than a month to go completely insane. His favorite thing to do in this movie is go insane right away.
I'm gonna say this. Jack doesn't do fuck all.
No.
He doesn't do a single thing he's supposed to do. Shelley is taking care of the machinery this entire film.
Yep, I definitely wrote that down as well.
Wendy does all the work.
The stuff that Ullman was like, go to the fucking kitchen like the woman that you are. I'm going to show Jack the duties that he's going to have to perform. And then we totally don't get a scene where Jack goes, you know what? Fuck that. Wife, do that too. She's here making breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 people. Opening giant fruit cocktails that are going to go bad because nobody's going to eat that much. It's an industrial-sized fucking fruit cocktail can.
But she dumps it into the bowl like, that's that.
Yeah.
I really did something there. Couldn't have eaten that out of the can for sure.
Yeah, and then she also is in charge of maintaining the hotel while Jack doesn't write.
Yeah, she's got to systematically heat the entire hotel, do all the checks, all this, and then Jack's just there heaving a tennis ball at the wall. And
then you got, in the meantime, Danny going from carpet to hardwood with his big wheel, creating the most jarring change in noise every second and a half.
In the oh my god, this disrespectful little shit.
Let me tell, like, there's so much carpet that you could ride that on.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm choosing the loud wooden floor, and I'm gonna scuff that shit up irreparably.
Thank you.
Ruining Jack's potential for being rehired ever again.
The first turn he takes is a fucking drift.
Yeah, dude, he's Tokyoing all over that hotel for 5 months.
Oh, and was the microphone in the bicycle? Because you hear like vum 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 vum.
I would hate after day 1 that noise. I'd be like, listen, you ride your big wheel around the carpeted hallways and you don't fucking touch this nice mahogany.
Oh my god. I would have lost my mind. I would have kicked him right off that, like, on the bike. I would have kicked the bike out from underneath him.
Oh yeah. No, you throw a stick in.
Oh boy.
You just hit him in the face while he's riding past you. Fucking yeah. So all these things. Jack not giving a shit when he fucking breaks with that ball.
Yeah.
They go into the hedge maze, and I was like, every time I see a hedge maze, I think about walking in a straight line through that hedge maze.
And you should.
I want out.
The good hedge mazes will have fences in the hedges.
That's smart.
It is.
But it also gives you something to climb in the event that you do get lost, which is something that Jack doesn't do later on, and it would have literally saved his life.
Well,
you have all that strength and effort to chase a child through a hedge maze in the winter cold, but you don't think to climb 13 feet?
Well, he's got that limp.
Fuck. Use the axe. You got a whole climbing tool, like an implement literally used by arborists to climb trees better.
Well, he knows that he's going to have to be the one to, like, fix that up after.
Fair enough.
He'd rather just freeze to death in the hedge maze. Whoops, did I just spoil the film?
Another thing for Wendy to clean up.
Yeah.
Body.
You know what? I'm actually going to save that one for the professionals.
Let me tell you, it takes all of 40 minutes of movie for Jack to be a dick to his wife, who's doing everything. All she does is come in and, like, ask a question, and he just snaps. He writes 1 page. That's the 1 page he's written all movie, and he rips that up right in her face, and just loses his shit because she's trying to be an attentive wife.
Yeah, it's like, when you see me in here, you know I'm writing.
Yeah. If you hear this noise, and he's got a shithead typewriter, which is like the most asshole way to write ever.
Oh, it is.
Because you hear every individual click of that shit.
You want everybody in the entire Tri-County area to know that your novel's in the works?
Yeah.
They're going to hear your clicks and your clacks.
So I found out that when he goes, if you hear this noise, and then like, which is just an ass dick thing to do, and then he goes, even if you don't hear that, I'm busy. That's something that he literally said to a girlfriend once, because Jack Nicholson was also a writer. So he's like, for that scene, that's his least favorite scene in the movie, because it's a real fight that he's had before.
Well,
what, did you just made a fucking woman feel horrible for the rest of the day?
Oh my
Sick.
God. Yeah. What does he say? At the end, he's like, yeah, so you understand?
Mm-hmm. How about you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
That's exactly what he says.
Rude.
Oh my God. So, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. It's Tuesday now.
Yeah.
It's fruit cocktail time.
Yep.
Jack's had his breakfast in bed, and now the dinner table is in the middle of the kitchen.
Yes, it is.
Because that's where it should have been the entire time.
100%. You're just making your own life. Matter of fact, eat right where the giant dishwashing sink is, where you just fucking slide all of the dishes off of the stainless steel table right into there.
Did their apartment not have a kitchen?
They
had a fridge.
They did have a fridge. I don't remember. No, it did. You know why I know? Because during that doctor conversation, I noticed that it is the most fucking immaculate kitchen that I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
Like, all she does.
I mean the apartment in the hotel.
Oh, I have no idea. No, it's like you just see him eating in bed and then eating at giant dining room. I don't know.
I bet there was a kitchen in there.
There was probably... Who would use that, though? You got the whole fucking downstairs restaurant kitchen to work with.
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Don't stay in that apartment.
I want Pop-Tarts now.
I don't have to do a 5K to get Pop-Tarts.
It's not worth it. It's never worth it.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that kitchen in the actual apartment, though, 80s as fuck.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know. I really get the impression that, Jack rules his household with an iron fist, because everything but his books was in place, was perfectly in place. The dining room, like the fucking, the tablecloth was doing that thing where like each individual corner drapes on like a perfect distance over the side in like a triangle. Okay. Like if he comes home and anything is askew, he's beating the shit out of this woman.
Well,
Wendy is like a battered fucking woman this whole movie.
That may be because like when he's not there in the scene where she's smoking her cigarette next to Danny eating his sandwich.
Yeah.
In the background is just a carton of milk on the counter. Just going warm.
Yeah.
The time is ticking on that milk.
Fair enough. Well, she got her disobedience out of the way.
Yeah. Your dad's on the way home. Get the milk in the fridge. Get the milk in the fridge.
Please, God, get the milk in the fridge. I need to fix the tablecloth and make sure there's not a single dish in the sink. This, like, her whole job this entire movie is to tiptoe around Jack's anger problem.
It is.
And it just gets worse and worse. But she never, like, leaves until violence is, like, potential. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's the 80s were a different time, Jay. I don't know what to tell you.
Exterior shot outside while we're playing in the snow because winter has happened now.
Mm-hmm. It is winter. There's snow.
We got to learn about the snowstorm on television, but you didn't even need to have that scene in because you just showed it right on camera. Stanley Kubrick, one thing that he's really good at is only showing what's important. Like, there's not a whole lot of filler. There's the outside with Wendy and Danny playing in the snow so that you know that it's winter. There's not a whole lot of, like, expository scenes.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Because this movie's 2.5 hours long already.
Imagine. Dude, it'd be like 8.
This is the scene where Danny's triking around again.
Yep. Doesn't stop.
He bikes by 237 and he's like, you know what? That helpful, nice cook who gave me ice cream said not to do this. He can get fucked all the way in Florida.
He can't.
So Danny gives a yank on the door. It's locked because it's a fucking hotel.
Mm-hmm.
The door handles they're like $1.75 at the dollar store. Like they're like the door handles on a closet door.
Well, that's eliminating overhead. That's just smart business practice.
I feel like it just kind of it goes to show like the times, you know?
Yeah.
Things were simpler back then. I'm sure this was a set, so it's probably they just built whatever they had. But like I feel like hotel doors weren't like a magnetic card lock.
Yeah, no, it's just
like
a key.
Like a prison door that nobody could get through.
It's just a literal key that you put in the center of a doorknob and turn it.
Yep.
Great, now I'm in.
Yeah, and that's the way things used to be.
You know what why I prefer that over a fucking key card?
Because you like the sense of danger in the night? Because you don't like sleeping behind an armored door?
Here's the thing though, right? Half the time that key card don't work, you have to go back down to the front desk.
Well, that's because you're putting it next to your fucking phone and your goddamn credit card, Jay.
Yeah, and first of all, no credit card because I'm not allowed to have one of those. Secondly, you know what I could put right beside my, look at this. You hear that? What are those, Matt?
Well, I'm sure people will know. They're your
fucking keys.
They're your keys.
Plenty of keys, right? Right on my phone. You know what? I can still get in my apartment.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yep.
Those probably cost a lot more than a plastic hotel key that they don't want to shell out a lot of money for because they're never seeing them again.
Yeah, that's not really the fucking...
Look, all I'm saying is...
You're right, but give me the key, though.
All I'm saying is if you wanted to murder somebody in the 80s, a hotel is a great place to do it because you could just kick the door in. It's made of cardboard.
Here's the other thing, though, with the key cards, right? Like, that's still... with all the technological advancements that exist, it's still a dumb fucking latch on the inside that if you can get the door open a little bit, can reach your hand in and just open that lock.
No, you can't.
You sure can.
You cannot.
If you have a key card also, yeah, you can.
If that latch is on the inside, you have to close the door completely to open it.
You could creak it open like a fucking, with just like a flathead screwdriver. Just boop. Open.
I don't know.
Even worse if it's those chain locks because 100% I can reach it and unlock that.
The chain lock for sure.
And hotels still have that shit is my point. Like, upgrade everything if your concern is security.
Well, it's not. It's definitely not. Because the doors are just locked enough that like a fucking 7-year-old can't get in.
So fucking, yeah, like right here is where I wrote... that Tony just seems like a dickhead friend to have. For like, it's like the fucking my older brother showing me rotten.com when I was 10 years old. It's like, hey, you want to see something fucked up? You want to see something that you're going to remember as an adult forever?
Yeah, you walked by his room and the door's cracked. He's like, hey, Jay, come in here for a second.
Yeah, this is a video of somebody being drowned to death.
All right, have a good night.
How about at school? Like, fuck's sake,
Tell
Tony.
everybody you know about this.
Tony.
Tell everybody how cool I am.
I'm going to sum up everything that I don't mention in this episode of the podcast by saying that everything is pretty much framed perfectly. Like, I mean, you know, fucking there's Jack on the bed in the apartment and you get to see his face in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, showing fucking Danny all these dead chicks. Danny doesn't want anything to do with his embrace that he's getting from his father. Wants nothing to do. It's a very uncomfortable scene for me. For him to be like, I want you to like it here. You
please.
like it here, don't you?
Please like me. I mean, the hotel.
I have the scariest smile of any actor in 1980.
Oh, shit.
We learn that the phones are out because Wendy's using the fucking radio. She's patched right into the Ranger's office on the radio like she's always been using one. Yeah,
she grabs that, like... First of all, this is a hotel with a switchboard? What the... How old is this hotel? 1907. Mm-hmm. It's very old.
Well, I mean, that's also... they're like, every year the phones go down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a problem that you should be prepared for and should fix.
No, we just don't use the phones from, I don't know, October to about May.
We Morse code communicate as soon as autumn hits.
I like that, so she goes right to that switchboard because she's obviously seen a video from like the 50s of an operator just doing this.
Yep.
Because she's like, hello? Hello? Which one of these holes has somebody on the other end?
I'm just going to keep trying them.
And she gets to the radio and she calls and the guy's like, yeah, this is the forest ranger. Yeah, everything's down. Okay, good night.
You're fucked. Whoops. Yep. Probably just leave this on.
Do you want us to come get you?
Your life might be in danger. Just leave the radio on. Night. I realized that, you know what would have been much cheaper, much more cost effective than having a man bring his entire family to your hotel to maintain it in the wintertime, running the risk that he murders his family and then himself.
Oh, you mean he gets just a little bout of cabin fever.
Yeah.
And this is just a little cabin fever is all.
Yeah, it's nothing major.
Just a little murder your whole family cabin fever.
You know what would be much cheaper? Shutting the fucking hotel down for the winter. And then hiring maintenance men to repair in the springtime when they won't go crazy.
Hey, actually, Jay, better than that, look, here's what you do. Much more...
I'm all ears.
Easier on the wallet solution. Keep your goddamn hotel open all year round. You're on a fucking mountain. Okay, skiing wasn't popular back then. Sure is now, shitheads.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular things for mountain hotels.
Get with the times, you fuckers.
You know how, use that, put the bucket on the front of that snowcat and plow that road once every 2 days.
You're gonna hire Jack to live there and just dick around the entire winter?
Yeah, probably break things.
Hire somebody to drive a snowplow.
Yep.
Just one person. One salt truck is all it takes.
Get Scatman to do it.
Yeah. Oh shit. It's a 4-hour thing. Great. That's an 8-hour shift. Here and back.
Perfect.
All right. Come back tomorrow.
Full day. Right there.
Just driving on one half of the road, driving on the other half of the road. Oh, you know what's even easier? Get two. One person starts at the hotel. One person starts at the end of the road. They pass each other. They turn around. They plow the other side. That's that.
You're killing this.
I should be in hotel management.
It costs so much money to get blood and guts out of your floors and curtains.
It does. It's and they leave that hotel door open for the whole winter.
Yeah, they do.
That door's cracked wide open. Snow's blowing in.
Wendy goes out one time, and then she just never closes the door ever again the whole movie.
And you'd never know. It's such a big hotel.
Yeah. That's also the only way that fucking Scatman Crothers gets in to get murdered. So Wendy, in effect, is an accessory to a murder.
R.I.P. Scatman.
Ugh.
Scabba-dooba-dabba, dee-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-da-ba.
So you get to find, this is when you get to see that Jack is fully insane. The Danny conversation, and then right before the Danny conversation, he's just staring out the window at them like he's already murdered them in his head. And it's there's plenty of sunlight coming in. You're telling me that Wendy didn't see that death look? I should probably stay out here for the rest of the winter.
Yeah. Hey, honey.
How's it going? How's that book?
Hey, don't you have some work to do?
Oh my God.
I didn't realize they put you in charge of menacing out the window like that. Holy moly.
It's on his checklist of duties.
Scare off any intruders by menacing.
You could fucking scare a wolf off with that look.
So more Danny triking around, and this is where he bumps into the creepy twins in the hallway.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, Danny, we'd like you to come play with us forever and ever. What's the issue here?
That just sounds like a good time until I get sleepy.
Danny was so ungrateful. I'm not going to have any friends there.
Yeah.
The fuck you are.
You got at least two. They're interested in continuing to play.
Yeah, they don't want the playing to stop. So this is going to make up for your entire lack of friends and family and loved ones and people who care about you.
I got something for you that's a little bit inside at this point. Right, that happens right before the Jack conversation in bed because he's either in bed, staring menacingly, or not writing. That's all he does this whole movie.
I think this happens right as she's radioing the police.
These all happen at the same, or at the very least at a similar time. Sorry, I just had to readjust there, and I had to do a fatty grunt.
Hey, sometimes you fatty grunt.
I know this because during the scene when he's talking to Danny about whether or not he likes the hotel, he parrots that back. He says, I would like to live here forever and ever and ever. And that's your little indicator is oh, the hotel's in his got him.
Oh,
got him.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I did.
I like to live here forever and ever and ever because it's a hotel and there's going to be somebody around to clean this up.
Yeah. I brought somebody to clean this up, to clean all of it up.
It's my wife, who I'm surprised didn't just try and kill him first, to be honest.
I did have that thought as well.
How is this movie not about Wendy trying to kill Jack?
For making her life hard.
Yeah, you drag me out here.
Making her life hard constantly.
Drag me out here and make me fucking go around this hedge maze every day?
I'm just a housewife? I thought this was a vacation for me. She fucking hears screaming and comes in, and fucking Jack's having a horrible dream. This is right around the time that Danny sees the woman. Let me talk about this woman in room 237 real quick.
Right. So and this is another time Danny's going by, and the door's open. The door's like unlocked. There's
Yep.
a key in the door, and the door's wide open to room
true.
237.
Mm-hmm. And then, bip, we don't get to really see what happens to him because Wendy's in the boiler room hearing Jack screaming about a nightmare from all the way across the hotel.
Oh my God, is he
because
ever.
fucking, man, when Jack has a bad dream, he wants the world to know about it. So then he goes, yep, no, I had a dream that I murdered you, and then I cut you up into little bits. You know, like the thing that happened that I've told you about already? It's kind of bizarre, right? To have that dream?
Yeah, these weren't screams of terror. Sorry.
It was pleasure.
Yeah,
I was really... Why does it sound like Mickey Mouse?
Murder you with an axe!
I got tauntauns coming out of my asshole!
You're dead!
And then Danny shows up catatonic with all these wounds on his neck. And Wendy's first thought is, well, it was my shitbag husband, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this is right... Okay, so during that awkward scene where they're embracing, Danny's like, would you ever do anything to hurt me or mommy? And Jack's like, what?
Did your fucking mom say that? Did your bitch mom say that?
Who's saying that kind of stuff to you, Danny?
These people have the best marriage of anyone I've ever seen.
They do.
The second something happens, it's like, well, I don't trust my spouse.
Yeah, they're just like both going to Danny like, what did he do?
Yeah.
What did she do?
This is like the worst custody hearing on earth.
It is.
For 5 months.
So yeah, he's like, yeah, would your mom say that to you? I would never do anything to hurt you. I just fucking ripped your arm out of the socket is all.
That's it. Just a little arm rip.
But yeah, the look on his face says like, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
just kidding.
Okay, well, I really hope that what you're saying to me is sincere because I am 7.
Hey, Danny, I got my toes crossed. You better run. But yeah, so yeah, she's like, you did this to Danny. You choked him, knowing we'd be the only people here, and who else would have done it?
Yeah,
because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So
this is the prime time to covertly abuse your child.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Nothing says I'm not doing this. Like, who else is doing this? You know.
This is an adult woman that apparently, like later on, we find out while Jack is getting imagination drunk, which is apparently quite effective. Turns out all you have to do is think about drinking bourbon, and it'll get you loaded. I wish I had known that in college.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is where he storms off in a huff. Is this where
several huffs?
Is this where he knocks over all of the?
That's after. Right now, he's just doing calisthenic exercises as he walks to the bar.
Well,
like
he's
doing
like drink it out.
He's reciting or rehearsing for a Richard Simmons taping later on. Because he's just like fucking reaching up into the air with his fists and like punching down and shit. Like, so he's just getting a good upper body in.
Oh, so this is a mosh pit of one.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I was wrong. Danny wasn't triking around. This is the one scene where Danny isn't on his trike. There's some fucking ball rolls up to him while he's playing with his cars on the carpet.
On the shining carpet.
The carpet. I don't think that if you go to that hotel, that carpet's going to be there.
I doubt it.
But it should.
Yeah. No, it's the car. I would like to have that carpet in my house.
Yeah, the second that hotel saw the movie, they should have been like, we're going to redo everything. Ask Stanley for the carpet. I
don't want people showing up and doing the things in the movie on the carpet.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they wouldn't have it then because people will be like, well...
Oh, this is where the two twins in the movie were brutally mutilated with an axe?
Hey, get me with an axe just like you got Scatman right here. Right here.
A lot of fast zooms later on in the movie. Slow zooms turn into fast ones.
I really like, there is a fast zoom on somebody's eyes, and it's very much like a old kung fu movie.
Yeah, I think you're describing the furry blowjob scene. The furry ass out blowjob scene, I think, is what you're thinking of right now.
I think it came before that, but there was definitely that's definitely a thing that happens in this film.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen in this film.
This film has a lot going on.
Never a dull moment at the Overlook Hotel.
There's something for every one of your senses.
Yeah.
If you're not hearing something, you're seeing something.
I'll tell you my second favorite line in the entire movie.
I don't want to know your first, by the way, but tell me your second.
Well, that one, while it is my first favorite, it's going to be replaced for the sake of maintaining a podcast
Thank you.
with a different line. Anyway, this is Jack meets Lloyd in the bar, and he gets a drink poured after being on the wagon. His cheers is the best fucking here's to 5 months on the wagon and all of the irreparable harm it's caused me.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, 5 months on the wagon, but then like later...
That'll wake you up. Hey man, here's to being sober and how bad life sucks.
Yeah. Quite the cheers. I'll cheers to that.
Yeah. To reality in the cold light of day. Good. There you go. Yeah, and then I wrote down a bunch of shit about like the 5 month to 3 year discrepancy, but then
I thought that was really weird.
I read about how it was like part of the theme of rewriting because later on, like at the end of the movie, he's in a fucking picture from 1920, right? So it's like we're doing timeline travel a little bit in this hotel.
I thought it was just like that was where the hotel keeps the souls. It was just like
in the pictures.
It's like, hey, I got your soul. Now you're in the painting. It's
like the Say Cheese and Die Goosebumps.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. No, that's. I think I was pulling a lot from there actually. So yeah, they Jack's like, hey, what's up? I got exactly these bills in my wallet. Give me that bourbon.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't know what the fuck. Like that's like, first of all, Lloyd is the name of the bartender here. Later on, Grady shows up, but it's obvious that Lloyd is like a manifestation from his own mind. Yeah. Because this is like, he says something to the tune of, you've been the greatest bartender I've ever known from all the way from fucking Vermont to Oregon. So like Lloyd is a real man who has seen an alcoholic Jack on many occasions.
Lloyd takes that compliment with the most dignity and grace.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you very much for saying so. Absolutely. Oh.
Are you going to get obliterated drunk at my bar again? Tonight? I sure would like to see you stumble out of here and then worry about your drive home again.
Yeah, and oh boy. And then, then he's like, white man's burden, and Lloyd's just like, I didn't hear nothing. Whatever, man.
That's your job as a bartender.
Give me the money.
Yep. Are you going to keep paying me if I don't say that was the wrong thing to say?
So it turns out there's nothing in Jack's wallet.
Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, obviously you have no need for money now.
Thank God none of this is real, or else this would have been an awkward moment.
Yeah.
But his credit at the bar, the pretend bar, is fine.
Immaculate. You know why? Oh, boy. Because he's bankrupted himself while looking at Lloyd's face for years. So, of course, his credit's good, because it's like, yeah, you're coming back.
Oh, yeah. Where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
Where else are you going to
get bar?
Not in this hotel.
So, Hallorann, he's in... Now, this is weird, because, like, does he live in Florida?
He does.
He does, okay. Because I thought he was just on vacation. Why the fuck is he coming all the way to Colorado to cook?
Well, why would he bring his nude lady paintings all the way to on vacation, Jay?
You gotta have something to look at on the plane.
I think you're gonna get some complaints.
Fucking beautiful slow zoom out while he's just in bed like a mummy. Nothing about his position looks comfortable. He's just on his back staring at the television with his arms at his sides, like he's waiting for the moment of silence to end.
He's just death is just on knocking on his door, and he's like, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready.
So fucking yep, nice big breasted African women adorn his bedroom walls.
We get to see the TV through Scatman's feet, and I gotta tell you, he's got some of the worst feet I've ever seen.
I deliberately didn't pay attention to how gnarled that old man's toes were.
Hey, he's either missing a toe or one of his toes is tucked up nicely under the other, because I only saw 4 little pigs.
I have a friend who's like that with his, I guess you just call them baby toes. Anyway, they curl upward. So there's literally no use for them. Like, you can just take them off. And I sort of feel that way about my own sometimes.
Yeah,
like, I would definitely fit into socks better.
Oh my God.
You know, it's like removing a rib.
It
like
is. There's a whole show on TLC about this, by the way. Where people are like, my feet are nasty, just cut off the toes.
Yes. Don't like that.
So
in that show it's a little bit Worse than just cutting them off, though, because Bob Odenkirk puts those in his mouth and chews and swallows them.
Oh, we're talking about different shows.
I'm talking about the Tim and Eric Toes episode.
I'm talking about, it's a show called My Feet Are Killing Me, and people with disgusting feet come in, and they're like, well, we're going to cut off all your nasty toes.
Well, I haven't seen that.
It's pretty gross.
I imagine. Toes and feet get like the worst infections
Of
everywhere on the body that's not asshole.
Hey, there's some wild feet out there.
Yeah, there sure are.
During the scene where he's drinking...
Yeah.
He's drinking at this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Jack is, of course, venting.
Yeah, he's quite emotive as well.
He's letting the bartender know about his marital issues.
Yeah.
And he refers to his angel of a wife.
This woman who has been making him 5-star breakfasts and dinners at least.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He refers to this woman who's been doing literally all of the work.
Yep.
As the old sperm bank. Is what he says about her.
Jovially.
He calls her the old sperm bank.
As if that's just a thing people say that's funny.
As if many people are making deposits.
Yeah.
And withdrawals. Withdrawals?
There's no successful bank that just has one client.
Yeah, and obviously a bank, you have to be able to withdraw.
Yeah. You're housing that's
how a bank works.
Your material.
Yeah.
So access to it at all times is important.
Yeah.
In a bank.
A bank is like a storage unit for your money.
It is.
Keeps
or
it
in
safe.
this case, semen.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
Let me ask you though, is that better or worse than calling her a bitch like he does 30 seconds later?
I'm going to say worse.
Sperm bank is worse?
I'm
inclined to agree.
Sperm bank is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty disrespectful, not the most disrespectful word that he uses in the movie.
No, I wouldn't say most. Definitely not most. So yeah, they
Hallorann gets shined at by Danny, who has just been left in his bed to have a sitting up seizure.
Oh yeah.
Nobody checking on him whatsoever.
Just seeing rooms of blood. Hallways of blood.
He just got strangled by, at best, Wendy's husband. At worst, a ghost.
You didn't even describe the woman in the room.
I
cut you right off.
I'm fucking gonna. Yeah. My point there was in this huge sprawling hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be far-fetched for one person to stay behind because they like the hotel.
That's fair.
And you know what? You're just letting your kid roam around free. He's going to get a couple hickeys. That's what's going to happen because you're not watching your child.
Dear God.
So
watch your child.
Yeah, fucking Dick Hallorann, Scatman Crothers, gets shined at so hardcore that he needs to hop on the first plane back to Colorado right away.
Yeah.
Bad things are happening at the hotel. I can feel it.
Scatman Crothers looks like he's fucking dead.
He does.
When he's receiving the shine.
Like his eyes get wide and he just looks
just
like he died from shining.
It looks like he's looking into the eyes of fucking shined himself to death. Shined right to...
Wendy gets a fucking bat after Danny explains that it was indeed not Jack who strangled him, but just a woman in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same bat that she later on picks up and uses on Jack, so there's foreshadowing in the weapon.
So you're telling me
how's that for you?
This lady went to like the games room to find a baseball bat and then to Jack.
And like you have all the weapons. There's probably guns on the wall that work.
It's a big hotel. Like, where did you find this bat?
Great question. So she's got it anyway, and Jack just finds it fucking impossible to believe that somebody may have just stuck around after closing time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna check it out anyway.
And this is also where he's explaining his momentary loss of muscular coordination.
Yeah. Oh, that thing where you pulled too hard?
Yeah. How was I supposed to know the proper foot-pounds of energy per second to use when pulling my son's arm clean off his body? It's what he tries to justify.
It's a very exact number that it stops just short of ripping the arm off, but gets the point across still. Mm-hmm. And he went 1 foot-pound over that. A couple extra degrees Kelvin on that old thrust there.
Just miscalculated, and now our boy's got a blown out shoulder.
Yeah, he's got a weirdo arm for the rest of his life.
He won't make that mistake next time.
One arm's longer than the other, and sweaters don't fit.
So Danny season up. Scatman's having his vision.
Yeah.
And Jack's inspecting the room.
Yeah. He goes, all right, fuck it. Let's get right in there. I want to point out here that seeing the upper half of a woman's body makes him forget all about everything that he's been angry about all evening, which means Wendy should probably put out more.
Uh-oh.
All I'm saying is, dude, it's one set of tits, and he immediately is like, man, what was I mad about?
He forgets about Wendy, his son, the fact that, this is very weird.
You only have one kid, and you're stuck in a hotel for 5 months. If you're not banging, I mean, later on, Jack does right. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
You're bringing up points here.
And Wendy's got...
valid points.
Wendy's got to have a pretty sizable mouth in order to house all those teeth in it all the time. So,
and she does.
I'm just saying, swing that neck.
Well,
I will never pass up an opportunity to say swing that neck out loud.
That poor boy is all bruised up. He can't.
Oh my God.
All right. Well,
Lust demon.
What's in the room?
Well, a quite attractive lady is in the room, and again, her tits are so out that I have totally forgotten now that she tried to murder my son by strangulation. Mm-hmm. And really, all I'm interested in doing is open mouth kissing this woman who shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Before you go any further, I'm just gonna let everybody know that this scene is Mr. Skin's number 14 top nude scenes in all horror movies.
Is that before or after she turns into a bog witch?
The whole scene.
Oh, so during.
I'm just giving you the facts I've been told.
One of the top nude scenes on Earth is one where you start off kissing Charlize Theron and you end up with Betty White on a bad day.
Well,
she turns into a horrible old woman with all kinds of fucking dirty, drowning sores on her body.
But for horror movies though, not all movies. This is the horror movie category, and it's number 14. It's not top 10. It's number 14.
There's a Friday the 13th up there somewhere.
There has every single movie is a nudity.
Yeah, that's true.
The naked lady, whom Jack is also mouth kissing, is uncredited in Ready Player One as Pretty Naked Girl.
Oh, so she's typecast.
I don't know if that, or did they just digitally remove her from The Shining and plop her into that movie in a battle scene or something? I've never seen the movie, but it's a kid's movie. What's there a naked lady running around for?
That's a great question. I don't know. I haven't seen it either, but I can't imagine there being the need for a naked adult woman in it.
No, not even a naked adult. It's the nude demon lady from The Shining.
Oh my God! So it's actual. Oh, okay.
That's what she's credited as Pretty Naked Girl. And
okay.
Anyway, so if you've seen the movie, email us. Let us know where she is.
We know where on earth this horrible banshee is in Ready Player One. I
am beyond curious.
So my fucking younger siblings have watched that movie.
We're mouth molesting this strange naked lady who's in your hotel.
Yep. While this is happening, again, Danny is having a seizure unchecked. He's having an epileptic fit in the one room that they all stay in, and nobody notices until he falls asleep. And they don't even fall asleep. They neglect this poor boy in the latter half of the movie so good. After he goes and fucking... So, yeah, we're mouth kissing the woman, and then she decomposes right in his hands, basically.
Yeah.
And then just walks slowly after him, chuckling horribly.
Well, yeah, the joke's on him. He just mouth fucked a hag. I'd be laughing and following him, so ha ha.
I tricked you.
When he goes into the room and he sees that naked lady, the look on his face, it's exactly, I just saw a naked lady.
What the fuck did I write here? The biggest red flag about whether or not that's a real woman is the fact that she was interested in kissing Jack's face after he made that face at her.
Yeah.
No woman in her right mind would see that face and be like, still turned on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More like, help me, please.
See that face and that's a regular, I love kissing that. That doesn't look like he's about to take me away at all.
The fucking satanic fucking chin at your chest, looking through my own eyelids at you with my eyebrows raised, and the kind of smile you see at a park right before you call someone about it.
Mm-hmm. And, his brows are so raised that he's got
They're escaping.
He's got a ladder of wrinkles on his forehead. You could climb his forehead to get to his hairline.
You sure could, and that would save you because that's where the helicopter lands.
So we cut right from that to Scatman in his button-up PJs trying to call the hotel.
This is the only movie that we've seen with like very diligent police. And the reason why anybody dies in this movie is entirely the fault of the characters themselves and not the police. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, yeah, okay, their phones are down up there. We're just going to do periodic checks, and we'll let you know if we hear from them. It's like, okay, you're a police officer doing your job.
Yeah.
Now, where it gets all fucked up is when Scatman Crothers decides that despite what he's been shown by Danny's fucking mouth friend, which is not a good sentence to say out loud.
No.
He just decides to go up and make sure everything's okay alone.
That was back when like flights across the country were probably like $20.
Yeah. Hey man, bring a couple folks with you. I just saw a bunch of blood get off an elevator. I'm probably not going to go by myself.
No.
All I'm saying. So yeah, right to this is where I was like, okay, well nobody actually gives a shit about Danny anymore in this movie.
Yeah.
Because fucking Jack comes back and he's like, I didn't see shit in there.
Well, yeah, because I kissed a witch.
Yeah, you can't just say that.
Yeah, that's not going to sit right with anybody.
No.
Yeah, I went in that room, kissed a witch.
It was fucked. I kissed the woman that strangled our son.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know what? Danny did it to himself, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Before he accuses the child of self-abuse, he's like, how is he? And Wendy's like, he's still asleep. And then we get a shot of him, eyes wide the fuck open in bed. They didn't even go into the room to check on the child. Just, what's that? His head and shoulders above the blanket? He's fine.
He's not thrashing.
Sick.
If he was thrashing, we'd be concerned.
Oh my God. So yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
I mean, Jackie, he could have even been like, hey, I went in that room and I saw a witch. And if she says that I kissed her, I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Yeah. Who are you going to believe? Me or a witch? So this is when we get the fucking snap spree through the kitchen that Wendy is just going to have to clean up later on. Because she's like, I think we should get our child out of here who's having epileptic fits every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And he goes, why do you always try to fuck everything up for me? So now gaslit.
Yep.
And then to the point where she's just like sobbing in bed. He's like, let me go right.
And Danny can hear all of this with his shine, by the way.
Fuck.
He's just sitting there eavesdropping.
Fuck the shine. You're 10 feet away from this conversation.
Sorry.
This screaming match between your parents.
So that it's coming through the vent and the shine.
Yeah.
He's getting it from both ends.
He's getting it twofold, like a stereo system.
Oh my God.
Surround sound, domestic violence.
Oh.
Perfect.
And then the blood gets off the elevator randomly because Danny's seizing up. So he's pissed because he thinks like the hotel's got him convinced that if he leaves now without completing his job, that's just gonna ruin his entire life.
Well, I mean, he raises an okay point in that sense, in that he's been given like one modicum of responsibility from an employer, and like to leave would fuck all that up. With that being said, fix your priorities. I know that you like being paid money to do a thing. Your kid's sick. Change it.
Yeah. You know what? You're not even doing the job.
Also that.
So...
Yeah, you really lucked out by bringing your wife here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be fucked.
I don't know how you talked her into that, but... yeah, you got to write your book, though. You got to write your book.
I don't think there was much talking involved in that decision.
No.
Man, the fucking boilers. I'm going to go get fake drunk.
Yeah, he's like, I can't let you fuck my life up. I'm going to go knock over all this kitchen cookware.
Yeah. So that you have something to do tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody in this building's gonna know I'm pissed.
Right the fuck back to Lloyd, and this time, it's a soiree.
Oh, yeah, there's music coming from the lounge. You got all these dead people, these ghosts just ballroom dancing.
They're fucking dead as shit.
They're all flappers.
Flappers.
They're all flapping about.
Okay. They're flapping. Well, that's fine.
You know, flappers.
Nope.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't believe that I do.
The 1920s like party girl with the bob haircut.
Okay. I didn't know that was...
Literally everybody in the scene is a flapper.
I didn't know that that's what they were called.
I think it's got something to do with the way they dance.
Okay. Okay. Well, brand new to me.
Yeah, so he's in a room full of flappers.
As a person of color, all I know about is the Charleston from that area.
And I think that's that. I think that's the flapping. I don't know.
No, I believe you. That's just the first time I've heard the term. That works just fine. Yeah, so Jack's like, you know what? I think I'm going to get in on this. Couple fingers of bourbon there, get right up. Butler spills whatever the fuck, what is it, eggnog? They call it something retarded that I'm never going to remember the name of.
Oh, I don't remember, but it honestly looks like cream of chicken soup.
Yes.
That you haven't added water to yet.
That is what it, yep. And it's like the same thickness.
It's avocado.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I think it's a creamy liqueur that nobody drinks anymore.
Oh, well, that's rightfully so, because it looked like shit.
Yeah, I think it's basically eggnog.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this butler weaves around a flapper and just like in the
makes a point of getting every drink on that tray on him.
I think I mean in my heart I'd like to think that like because it's Grady.
Yeah.
This guy it's Grady. It's Grady, the guy who chopped his goddamn family.
Like
up.
It was deliberate so he could get Jack alone in the bathroom.
Exactly. Okay. But also like cuz like if not, this dude's a terrible actor who just went like whoopsie poopsie.
Like literally, whoa!
I can't walk around a single human being without Mr. Magooing.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
It was like the most comedic fucking, it's like Mr. Bean.
It honestly was very beanish.
So he's like, come to the bathroom, I'll clean your shit up because it's literally my job. And then, now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I sure did. While they're walking to the bathroom, obviously... Grady's very apologetic, and Jack's like, don't worry about it, and pats him on the back, and gets goo all over that man's black suit.
Oh, he does.
He's like, yeah, a little for me, a little for you too, huh?
Oh, what does he say? He
fucking
says,
tit for tat on that.
He says something, but yeah, he just smacks him on the back and leaves a big chicken soup handprint.
Loved it.
Oh my god.
This is when I noticed, this is the only time in the movie that you see Jack with a legitimate smile on his face, is when he gets up from the bar with his drink to dance with the ghosts. That's the happiest fuck my wife and kid. I haven't smiled once in their direction since I got bacon in the morning. And this is the only thing I want to do in my life.
Yeah, come
get drunk with ghosts forever.
Come to think of it, the only time you do see him smile is like then and the other time when he's like calling his wife a sperm bank.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd's like, women, you can't live with them, you can't live without them. Because he looks like he's never heard that phrase before in his life.
Yes.
And that he is going to be saying it to literally the next 45 people he meets.
It's important to me that you know that when this movie came out, I think it was a couple years prior, this phrase was like a meme. Like during the late 70s or early 80s, everybody was fucking saying this.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
like Rodney Dangerfield said it or some shit like that. And then after that, briefly, like shortly before this movie was made, another stand-up comedian changed it and said, women, you can't live with them and you can't kill them. So this was like, Stanley Kubrick putting that line in the movie was like a foreshadowing little tongue-in-cheek for like people from the time period.
That probably went off in the theater.
Dude, I bet.
Oh shit!
Fuck's sake.
So we're in the bathroom, and we're just having two white guys alone in a room.
If you, for any audience member who thought that this was a real scene that was really happening, like Jack had actually gone back in time, you'll notice that when they enter the bathroom, Grady's tray of drinks is fully intact. All the drinks that he spilled are now full and fine on the tray.
Yeah.
I really hope that was deliberate, not a continuity error, because it's a pretty fucking big one.
Well, I don't think he spilled that much, but it almost seemed like when he did spill the drinks on him, like they were glued to the tray almost.
At least one of them fell on the floor, I swear.
They like snapped back.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, yeah, it's probably what you saw was like when you... like with your coffee, how it's all up on the side. Mm-hmm. So it's probably just like, it looked full, but maybe the avocado was
There wasn't any like shit on the tray or anything either, though. Like, it looked like he had never spilled any.
Well, he's a ghost, Jay. It's a room full of ghosts. The avocado is probably a ghost-acot.
Yep.
So, with Scatman Carruthers safely in Miami, Florida.
Yes.
These two white gentlemen enter the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Making sure, now, again, that Scatman Carruthers is far, far away.
Probably the furthest they could get away from him, like literally across the country.
Yeah.
Because they want to make sure they're good. Mm-hmm. They're in the bathroom alone. Mm-hmm. because this is where Grady informs Jack that his son is attempting to bring an outside party into the situation.
And Jack at this point is reasonably confused because he just learned, he'd realized who Grady was. And Grady was the original, not the original murderer of his family. Like, he didn't invent that, but he was the most recent one.
Yeah, because he's like, hey, Grady, huh? I know you.
I recognize that name.
You chopped your family up. And he's like, oh, no.
Which is probably the best way to get a ghost to open up. Like, remind them of their worldly crimes. The horrible things that they did right before they died.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good way to be friends with it. Hey, remember that terrible fucking thing you did while you were alive? Because I do.
This ghost is just trying to buttle. Yeah. He's just trying to be a butler.
Doing a great job. He's trying to get that jacket right up.
Like, he blew his head off.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, right? It's not just an outside party.
Yeah, no. It's not quite. Yeah, no, it's not a party. And like Grady, he describes the outside party very poorly. It's just poor describing words for him. Poor man.
We're gonna take time out of this film to really call attention to the color of the skin of Dick Hallorann there, and we're not gonna make any bones about it.
Boy, oh boy.
That's where we're gonna leave that, because it's like, let's be honest, a lot of N-words were said in the bathroom.
Look,
lots of N-words were said in that bathroom.
We're doing our best to not
between two white people.
Just to tell you that in this movie, two white people go to the bathroom to say the N-word. They
go to the bathroom to say it in private.
It's just two white people saying the N-word back and forth.
It is.
Because it's like Grady says it, and then Jack Nicholson is like,
let me just make sure I heard you correctly.
I need clarification on the gentleman. Is this the phrase you used?
Yeah, and not only is he one of those, but he's also a filthy cook.
And then, Grady's like, you heard me correctly. That's what I said. And just to make sure you heard it correctly one more time.
And also his profession.
Yeah, so that's probably all Grady knows about him, but come on, get to know the guy. Get to know him. His name is Scatman Carruthers. He's got a story.
He does, yeah. Anybody with that name must. It takes all of Grady going, your son's being disobedient, to convince Jack to murder his entire family.
Yeah, he has to deal with them in a very harsh fashion, is what Grady suggests.
Calls it correcting them.
Yes, they have to be corrected, because
corrected right in the face with an axe, as it turns out.
I think he kind of explains that he has a talent. He's like, the Shining. He doesn't really do much to be like, yeah, he's brain connected with this stranger. He's just like, bringing an outside party, so you better correct him.
Well, how would you explain, like, as a ghost, be like, hey, you know this telekinesis that you didn't know existed until literally right now? Well, your son's got it, and he's using it to contact black people.
Whoa! I gotta correct my son!
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
It's not really a behavior that needs correcting, guys. It's just fine.
Okay. He's like, yeah, your son's been a naughty boy, if I may say.
Yeah. He's talking to unsavory folks. So the reason I brought up the bat earlier is because the point of Wendy having it when she finds out about the woman in 237 is so that you, like, as an audience member, as a viewer, go, oh, now Jack's become the embodiment of the same spirit of the hotel as this woman was. So there's a bat relation there. Anyway, I'm dumb. I talk about fucking inside movie shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sometimes metaphors and foreshadowing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's to me it became kind of clear that it's the hotel is the issue and not the ghosts, because Grady's talking about how his daughters tried to burn the hotel down.
Yes.
To stop the hotel.
Well, fix the problem.
Yeah. So the hotel possessed Grady.
Yep.
He corrected them.
He did.
He corrected them.
Fantastic job of it.
Yeah.
You get to see how good of a job he did in everything.
He really shut their systems down and gave them a reboot. That's
a reboot in safe mode. At this point, I wrote down fucking Danny has abuse-related DID, because that's what it is. You know, he fucking doesn't speak after he gets strangled by the woman, and it turns out that Tony is now the only person that you can speak to inside there, just like fucking The Exorcist. What fucking Linda Hamilton goes like, she's not in here right now, or some shit like that. Anyway, this is like a real psychological condition that requires therapy, and he's just got that, and everybody in the movie is just like, oh, it's just his imaginary friend that he talked to. No.
Red rum? That's his favorite drink.
It's the beginning of multiple personality disorder. You should get this schizophrenia in check now.
Nah, we just give him red rum when he asks.
Yeah.
He's drunk.
What even... Is there a rum that comes red?
I don't
in
like
the color
rum.
red?
I try not to know anything about rum because it's gross.
All I was thinking about was Red Stag, but that's cherry whiskey. It's not quite the same thing.
All I can think of is red wine.
Jack decides that outside communication is not the thing that we need to be doing right now, so he takes the fuses out of the radio. I would like to think that Wendy would know how to put those back in.
Well, I mean, she'd have to find them.
That's true. It's the radio room. You probably got like 80 kicking around. What are you going to send to town for a fuse every time one shorts out?
I would hope they would keep some spares.
You know?
He does that. He also dismantles the snowcat.
Yeah. I don't know. He just rips like a flying saucer out of the engine.
He literally could have just found a part to anything and set it on top, and she would have been like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. She doesn't even like bother using any mechanical knowledge. She just sees that a part is on the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it must be busted.
Let me get the keys real quick. Maybe we don't need that part.
That's the part where Wendy opens the door and never closes it.
Yeah.
So you're just letting all the heat out. That's his whole job, is to heat the hotel, undermining his hard work. Just like he said.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to be honest, it's not his hard work at all. It's Wendy's, so she can let all the cold in she wants. She's been heating the damn place. So while these two white guys are just disrespecting poor Scatman.
Yeah.
Poor Scatman.
It's not bad enough he's the only black guy in the whole movie. They got to make sure he knows all about it.
I think there was another.
Do you? I don't remember. There was. There was the guy that like rents him the snowcat when he pulls back into Colorado.
Whatever the
I don't remember his name.
Durkin.
Sure. Weird name.
His last name is Durkin.
Okay. So pickle.
Durkin. So yeah. While these two white guys are just in the bathroom, this is where you get Danny just saying red rum it's something
super loud right in fucking Wendy's poor ears while she's sleeping.
And is she sleeping or is she? No, yeah, she's sleeping because
she gets awoken horribly.
Because earlier she's plotting her escape and she's like mumbling to herself like, "We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go."
Like an insane person.
Even if you want to stay, we're just gonna go. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, and then you got
probably should have just left.
Yeah. You honestly probably should have. So we got Scatman on the plane at 8 a.m.
Really surprised that they let him sit at not the back. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Think about what time period we're in.
It's the 80s, Jay.
Yeah.
It's the 80s.
I'm also surprised that nobody's smoking on that airplane.
Yeah, that actually I am surprised.
How about that?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Well, I just had my soul stared into for saying a racism.
Yeah, you did. And you deserved it a little bit. So for some reason, Wendy and Danny are watching The Roadrunner, and neither of them look like they're enjoying it.
Well, Danny is in a fucking holy catatonic trance, so I don't know that he's processing anything outside of his own head. But yeah, no, Wendy's just like, please just be my son for like 5 seconds.
Checking her watch.
I don't have anyone to talk to anymore.
She's talking to herself.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Wendy goes to have a chat with Daddy. Mm-hmm. And
well, Dad's busy.
Well, yeah, very busy. He doesn't have time for her Louisville Slugger.
I'm going to point out here that while she's walking through this room that she has been told not to go in during the day, that she's walking and we have the shot following her from the side. Then she passes through like a opening, and then we just get like a pan shot of pictures on the wall. And then on the other side of the opening, when she comes back into frame, it's much darker in the room, and that's where Jack emerges from. Cinematography.
Ooh la la.
Right?
Maybe he turned the light off behind her.
So she fucking goes up to his typewriter because obviously he's got a full book written and he's been pretty tight-lipped about it as far as proofreading, but she's not an expert, so it makes sense. Mm-hmm. And, well, I really appreciated that Jack decided to write all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy in every kind of literary format imaginable.
Thank you.
We have a fucking academic paper with a fucking bibliography at the bottom. We got full-on poetry. We got a fucking like 3 haikus in there.
Stage direction.
Yeah, it's a screenplay.
At one point, it's just a triangle.
Yeah. And so he's, I appreciated that he didn't stick to one medium there.
And she flips through these pages, I would say probably for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of
just
her,
to make sure it is indeed all this. It's not actually a book hiding in there somewhere.
Yeah, she's really hoping that there's going to be some sort of something.
Yeah.
But
just,
no.
Crazy? Crazy. Yeah, crazy still. Hey, maybe this. Nope. Oh, I guess. Yeah, crazy. All right. Well, fuck. He didn't even cite his sources. And then fucking Jack just, do you like it? Well, no. It's the ranting and rambling of an insane man.
It's a little repetitive, TBH. I feel like you could have gotten away with maybe 1 or 2 sheets of this.
Yeah, maybe add a character.
So, okay, let's talk. You want to talk? Let's talk.
Let's fucking talk
Let's
real
have
good.
a nice, just a parental conversation.
Yep. As it turns out, you're the person who's ruined my life forever.
Yeah, and like he says it in a way that makes you not want to have that talk with him.
No.
You know what? It's not that important, really.
Never mind. I'll go make like dinner or something instead.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Danny shining into the conversation.
Yeah.
The blood elevator.
Knowing exactly what's going to happen to his poor mother.
Writing red rum on the fucking wall and lipstick.
Defacing the hotel that they're in charge of keeping clean.
Yeah.
All right? So bad kid.
Ugh.
Deserves what he gets.
And just like a calm parental conversation's happening.
As we climb the stairs, which these fucking stairs are the stairs from Mario 64. They do not end once you start climbing them. This scene lasts longer than the fucking stairs are, but you could have fooled me.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
So what's the topic of conversation here?
Well, there's a couple things. The most important one, though, is, Jack would like the bat. He wants to practice his batting, his batting skills.
He's got a t-ball tournament coming up.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, pass me the bat so that I can bash your brains in.
Yeah.
Bash them, and in case you're wondering how in, right the fuck.
Yeah. He's gonna go past the point of being in.
Yeah.
To all the fuck way in there.
Yeah, right, just in.
Right the fuck in.
The innest that they can be, those brains.
Completely concave.
Yeah. So Wendy's like, well, I mean, if you're gonna do it to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
Think.
do unto others.
Yeah, exactly.
Or have unto others do to you. Hit him in the head with a bat. Yeah,
succinct.
So, believe it or not, Jack doesn't want to leave.
Jack's got a bit of a glass skull, also.
He does a little bit. He's kind of Dr. Glass there, Mr. Glass. I don't think he was a doctor, was he?
I don't believe so.
No. He's got a lot of responsibilities that, for the entire hour and 45 minutes of this movie, I haven't seen him lift one finger toward.
No. It's really important to me that you don't ruin this opportunity to shirk all obligation for me.
And then, Wendy finally remembers that she's holding that goddamn bat. And
I have this.
Really just bonks him on the head.
Mm-hmm. And puts him in the preserves room to make sure that he's got a nice, comfortable bag of rice to sleep on.
Yeah, honestly, while she's dragging him, like, it looks like he's got brain damage.
It very does.
Like, there's like...
This is a concussion, at least.
There's, like, white pasty on the side of his mouth
that's,
like, drooled and dried. But, like,
real gross.
For sure, it looks like you've probably done more damage to him.
Yeah, it looks like you knocked him out of his wheelchair.
Yeah, so, like... I get why you're putting him in the pantry, but you might not have to.
Yeah, it might be good. Well, when he gets up, he limps for the rest of the movie, so she did something up in there.
Must have really hit his knee on the stair on the way down as he rolled down that flight of stairs like a stunt double would. A stunt double in a wig.
I really hope that it was actually him. I would much prefer that.
I would like to believe that, but
yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't have looked so fake.
Hallorann, yeah. Dick Hallorann, Scatman Crothers, while this is happening, is so worried about the lives of the people at this hotel that he needs upbeat jazz for the 5-hour trip. I made sure to write that shit right the fuck down.
Hey, man.
All the stakes in the world, people like human lives that might be ended. I need some jazz for this.
Well, you got to calm the soul.
Where's my Dizzy Gillespie?
But blood pressure's all the way up there?
Fuck's sake.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, is this where he's driving the snowcat?
This is when he's on the way to get the snowcat, and then you don't really get to see a whole lot until he's driving the snowcat just through the forest in the general direction of the hotel he's trying to find. Like, there's no fucking road markers or anything. He's just driving.
Yeah.
Forever, too. Like, I was like, they're dead.
Dollars to donuts, that snowcat's going to take 3 or 4 more hours than you expected. It's a slow-moving thing.
Slow as shit.
So, yeah, he lands. He goes to Durkin's. Durkin's has got a snowcat he can rent.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Imagine he didn't.
Nah, you're fucked. Sorry about that plane trip you took.
Yeah, well, I mean, he'd still be alive.
That's true.
Nah, sorry to spoil it.
Well, it takes all of fucking 10 seconds of him being at the hotel to get axed in the back. It's like, man, oh man.
So Jack kind of comes to as he's locking the door, and he lays on the post-head injury guilt, being like, oh, help me.
Yeah.
I'm dizzy.
Gaslighting.
I'm dizzy.
It's gaslighting. That's what it is.
It is. And then he
really hurt me bad.
He immediately lays on the floor and just falls asleep, which is the one thing you shouldn't do when you have a head injury.
That's true. Now, this is the thing, right? Like, I have heard that if you have just a concussion, it's confirmed, then taking a nap is a good idea. However, the reason why you're not supposed to go to sleep after a head injury is because your brain might just be bleeding in there. And so it's a good thing to check up on.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe just go to the hospital.
Yeah, just take it. I'm sure there's got to be like some kind of fucking doctor's office of some kind in this hotel. There's at the very least got to be like bandages, all right? Find something.
It's the 80s, man. I think it's BYOB.
Bring your own bandages. Love it.
So yeah, Jack has this fucking thing, cause he's like, yeah, I sabotaged the snowcat and the radio, you stupid dingaling.
Yeah. If one's fucked, the other one's probably gonna be just use your head.
Yeah, so she goes and she checks, but this is when the hotel starts talking to him.
Yeah.
And for some reason look, I don't know what Stephen King has against British people, but why is everything that's evil always British?
Well, listen, all right? No butler is untrustworthy as a British one. Okay? They've seen some shit.
They have.
And they've kept their fucking mouth shut about it because he's well into his 60s, which means he wasn't put in the pool out back and left there because of what he saw, okay?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's fair. But then you got Mr. I don't know, Jonesy from Dreamcatcher.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know why a buttworm gives you a British accent suddenly. It doesn't really, the vocal cords aren't really located
Especially
there.
when it comes from space.
It doesn't super make sense. Also, yeah, how does an alien know what British sounds like?
And then you got like Cujo fucking
I haven't seen it.
barking. I've never seen it either. I'm sure it barks in a British accent. Whatever.
He barks in British. It's just very polite.
Yeah. So he sabotaged the snowcat, and she goes to look, and it's just like, oh, yeah, there's a piece of machinery on top. It's probably sabotaged.
Yeah. This is the fucking Danny Red Rum thing, and I wrote down, okay, Danny, for this scene, you're gonna slice your finger on a knife and then get dressed up for a date. Because he grabs that fucking knife and he just runs his finger along the fucking sharp edge like a fucking serial killer.
That is the biggest knife I've ever seen. That knife is his forearm.
And then he fucking grabs a lipstick.
Yeah,
to write Red Rum.
And like, okay, we get it, Red Rum.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's murder backwards. So yeah. I understand.
Why?
No, there's no discernible reason for you to have to say it backwards.
And here's just a thing. This is just a thing Stephen King thought of one time.
Yeah, and it's like supposed to be creepy, but it's just developmental delay.
So Jack wakes up after falling asleep, and so the hotel's talking to him, being like, hey, you didn't kill your family like we had discussed.
That thing that you told me would be cool with you haven't done it yet, and I'm kind of running out of patience. I only have eternity.
Mm-hmm. I'm a hotel, and I require just a smidge of blood every now and then. Mm-hmm. Come on now.
Keeps the lights on.
Yeah, so Jack makes a deal with the hotel that he's gonna go correct them.
I want you to know
promises.
That in this scene, while the hotel is speaking with him directly, there's Calumet cans in the back.
Yep.
Which is Native American Preserve Company.
Right.
Anyway, it's like the only time that you see them. It's not the only time, but it's one of the only times. And it's important because it's during the hotel speaking to him. Like he's surrounded by it.
Gotcha.
All right.
And
cinematography.
Wasn't there like a lot of things in there that were Native American
preserves? Fewer than I remembered. But yes. There was like I think it was like those bags of rice as well. The majority of the shit in there was fucking Heinz. I love Heinz. Heinz is delicious. That sounds German to me.
It does a little bit. It does. But I mean, if you're going to get a ketchup, there's no ketchup better than Heinz Original.
And they 57. Had a shitload of it. Like, they could have just eaten ketchup for 4 months.
Are you on a budget making a horror film? Heinz. Add some water and you got yourself blood.
83 cents. This is your entire fucking, your whole costume design right there.
Boy. So the door pops open because Jack made a deal with the hotel.
Yeah, and so the hotel goes, if the hotel is capable of opening its own doors, like to freezers and shit, why aren't you, like, tripping people with fucking, like, table legs and stuff?
Yeah, like Monster House it up. Really.
Why don't you just turn your own interior into Home Alone?
Why don't you just become Guts and just kill these, just, like, dissolve them in acid, you know?
Undulate forward and suffocate.
You really Jack's foreheaded up here. We got Yep.
Just reading your own notes. That's what's happening.
We got the knife. We got the knife.
Yeah.
We got the red rum murder. We got the murder, and he writes it, and then you can see it in the mirror. It says murder.
Boom!
Because red rum is murder.
The word murder.
And then I think, does his mom wake up or something? Because like the red rum intensifies.
Yeah. When she sees it, that's when you get that zoom in.
And it's like red rum.
Yeah. And then Wendy's like, well, my kid's fucked. Let me just get out of here then, I guess. And so this is when she's running around the hotel, either trying to find Jack or trying to just get the fuck away from him and out of there. Either way, this is when you get the furry blowjob. You get that furry fucking blowjob right now. Somewhere in there, because it's not because like he blows through the wall and he screams, "Here's Johnny!" First, he goes through the door, right? He doesn't hear Johnny before that or after.
Either way,
I think this is before. So you get to see the furry blowjob, right? And then Wendy's fucking running around horrified this hotel, and because that's when fucking Scatman Crothers shows up. Because Jack has the axe now that he's been let out of the preserves room. And so he gets axed, and then as Wendy's running around, fucking sees him dead on the floor.
And then she sees the furry blowjob is after.
Is it?
Yeah.
I swear it's during, but that's fine.
So we got so he comes through the door with an axe. First of all, Jay.
Yeah.
What he does is quote the Three Little Pigs.
Oh, it happens. So she wakes up, you get the zoom in, and then he's just out there ready.
Yeah.
And
so he breaks the door in.
I need to discuss a few things about this.
Okay, but before you do that, he quotes the Three Little Pigs.
Yes, he does. When Jack Nicholson goes crazy in this movie, he really channels his inner Ace Ventura.
Does he?
I noticed it on the stairs with the bat. He's very facially emotive and like huge smile type shit. Like enunciating words like when Ace gets pissed off.
Fair.
And then it's just, you not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Hilarious to me. Anyway, Jack Nicholson in real life volunteered as a firefighter. So when they brought the prop doors in for him to axe through, he broke them all down in one swing. And they were like, we should probably use real doors because clearly you've done this before.
Yeah. I enjoyed the choice of, I don't know, what the filming choice where they just follow the axe with the camera.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The iconic line from this movie obviously is "Here's Johnny." Let me tell you right now, way funnier when he axes through the first door and goes, "Honey, I'm home."
Oh, yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. He's gonna huff and puff, blow your door in, just like in the Babadook. when they're doing the Three Little Pigs.
Oh, shit.
That's where I was going with that. You did it. You connected the two.
We got there.
And then he's like, "Honey, I'm home." That should have been
right in the trailer. Yeah.
but no.
The Johnny Carson line is fine. In 50 years, nobody's going to know what the fuck that means.
No, because
People don't even know what that means right now.
I literally was going to ask you.
It's for Johnny Carson's talk show.
Yeah.
That was the introduction.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah. In that same tone.
Oh, yeah, that probably went off in the theater.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure there was a standing ovation for that reference that my grandfather got.
Yeah, because for me, when I hear "Here's Johnny," I think of this movie in this scene right here, where
history's been rewritten by this movie.
Yeah. So because the door has been compromised, they lock themselves. The mother and son team lock themselves in the bathroom, and then Shelley Duvall just shoves her kid out the window.
First of all, and this is something that Ryan pointed out because at this point he was watching. As somebody who rents an apartment, I'll tell you right now, in the dead of winter, that fucking window is not opening. You're not even opening it as much as you can get the kid out. I don't care. I have to punch my windows to open them in the wintertime.
Well, yeah.
The first thing they do is freeze shut.
For sure.
Secondly, pushes her kid out and then decides that the best way to prevent Jack Nicholson from getting into the bathroom is to stand right beside the door and scream. To stand right in the path of an axe and yell a lot.
That's hopefully to scare him off.
It's like making yourself big for a mountain lion?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she gets in next to the door as to not get hit by the axe as it's
You could have been any... First of all, he knows you're in the bathroom, so don't hide. Get as far away from the axe as possible, which is on the other side of the bathroom, not 3 feet away from it.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm in a situation where there is one escape and it's a narrow little window like that, I fit.
Yeah,
I fit.
I'm channeling my inner cave diver for that shit.
Yeah,
I'm getting right in there.
If I don't fit, I fit. I will fit. Don't worry.
Let me tell you, I'm going to fucking fit.
What is this, glass?
No, not anymore. It's not.
Yeah,
now it's shards.
Yeah.
There's got to be something in that bathroom you can use to break a window. Use the butt of the knife.
Use the lid to the toilet.
Yeah, you're right.
Rip
that shit right off. It's 2 plastic screws underscrewed. That's it.
Half the time, it's not even screwed.
Yeah,
half the time you're just yanking that off, and that's a weapon. That's a hard ass weapon right there.
Half the time, that shit falls off by accident at 3 a.m.
Yeah, did you know your toilet bowl is a self-defense weapon? The lid to your toilet can be used in a pinch.
You know what? Fuck it. Pull the whole toilet. How's that? Throw it at the door.
Swing in the toilet.
Yeah.
So yeah, the door he axes through the red rum. You get the here's Johnny. Here's Johnny.
Yeah, here he is.
That's
right here.
This is the point of the movie, right there. That's the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Boom. Here's Johnny.
The whole movie.
You get here's Johnny, and that's that.
It is.
Boom.
Danny promptly disobeys his mother, who's just trying to save his life.
Yeah.
After taking a fun ride down a snow slide, like a fucking like it's tobogganing. She goes, run and hide. Cool, Mom. I'll just go back into the hotel through the door.
Yeah,
I'll go back into the danger that you just got me out of at the risk of your own life.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to go into the maze where I will be hidden. As long as I'm moving, I'm hidden.
Fucking idiot. No, I'm going to hide in the kitchen in a dish cabinet.
I'm going to Jurassic Park it.
And I'm going to close the door 70%. That's enough.
Honestly, you're just lucky that Nicolas Cage didn't... Oh, fuck. Wrong Nicolas. Well, you're lucky Nicolas Cage wasn't there.
Not even a Nicholas.
Not even a Nicholas. Not
Amazing.
Even a Cage. No Cage.
No Cage, no Nicks. Well, one Nick, but it's a Nickel's son.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Stupid as fucking... You have the entire hotel and surrounding area to hide in, and you choose the area of the hotel...
Oh, and the shiniest.
Also, the least human being can hide in hearable place.
Anyway, I was saying you're lucky that Jack Nicholson didn't see your reflection in a different shiny piece of metal as you were hiding, and then run full force at that and knock himself out, and then learn how to open a door.
I would love that. Yeah, doesn't matter though because Danny's so good at hide and seek. He just wants to end the game as long as he's in control of it. Mm-hmm. So he hides in that fucking cabinet for all of the 30 seconds it takes for Jack Nicholson to be down the corridor and hey, Danny, where are you? Oh, right here, Dad.
Oh yeah. At the sound of his name, he gives up his. okay hiding spot.
Shithead hiding spot.
Wouldn't be the first place I'd look, but I would.
If you're walking through there, you have no choice but to see a child out of the corner of your eye.
I look, in my heart, he closed that thing the whole way.
He didn't, because I wrote down that he didn't, because I was pissed about it.
In my heart, he closed that the entire way, and he would have been safe had he not decided that there's a better hiding spot somewhere else. In full view.
Yeah. Pick the worst time to switch spots, which is against the rules.
Yeah, and so, like, you're lucky this game of hide and seek, you've got the rules where you actually have to be tagged to be it, and not just a visual thing, because...
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, depending on the rule, it could be just like, I see you, I got you, but no, he's gotta tag you with the wand.
Amazing. So yeah, fucking, I guess Wendy's just fucking running around looking for her son. Because he does escape first, and then we get furry I just wrote down furry ghosts in all caps.
Well, before that, Scatman Carruthers shows up.
Yeah.
And look, listen, Jay. This is a horror movie from the 80s.
Yep.
So,
I already know what you're going to say. Naturally, the gentleman.
The gentleman who yells, "Hello, is anybody here?"
Yeah.
He gets it.
Out super loud.
And he's the first one.
In the echoiest fucking hotel ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you think there's danger, don't announce your presence. I'm just going to say that every time someone does, because it pisses me right off. Also, like, what if there's a guy with an axe hiding around like last time?
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe continue to have the upper hand without them knowing you're here.
Because there's no way he would expect the dude to show up. You could have been skulking around that fucking hotel for weeks chasing Jack around.
Yeah, and Scatman shows up and he's like...
Let me announce me.
Listen, right, I heard what you said in the bathroom. I heard what you said.
I'm here to talk to you about it.
So yeah, being the gentleman who yells, hey, is anybody there?
Yeah.
Naturally, he's the first person to die in the film.
He gets plenty of axe in his back.
But like, it's a weird way to die because Jack Nicholson announces himself by screaming as he comes around the corner with the axe.
So I believe he's hiding behind one of those columns.
Yeah.
Plenty of time for Scatman Carruthers to be like, oh, what's that, an axe? Let me duck.
I see two elbows poking out from behind that pole. Hello?
I saw, it was a picture of, I think it was a bear. And the bear had been frightened by a trail cam. So it's hiding, but it's hiding behind a very narrow tree. It's like the dumbest hiding spot ever.
I love nature.
Immediately what I thought of when I saw that, she was like, yeah, I'm going to see like the hilt of the axe or something.
You're going to at least hear the shuffling of the feet as he tries to scoot around to not be seen.
And like he's got to raise it over his head and cock back to swing it well. So that thing's coming out before he does.
Yeah, he comes around the corner screaming.
Yeah.
And he gives old Scat a whack there and
right here is where I wrote down, you'd think after the first set of fucking patricides in your hotel over the winter that you would either hire security or just close it, because both of those things are cheaper than cleaning up human remains that have been decomposing in your hotel for months.
Again, just
leave it open. Have a hotel.
Set up a ski lift. Just one ski lift. That's all you need. Let people blaze their own trail. Who cares?
Just fine.
It's the 80s. People are going to get hurt.
Yeah, let them smoke. Let them smoke while they do everything, because it's the 80s.
Let them smoke. Let my people smoke.
At this point, I get real mad at the movie. So often there's a point. And this one is when we have to watch Wendy running around the hotel like her childhood imagination version of what a frightened woman would run like.
She runs like Forrest Gump in the beginning.
She runs like the bus stop is 20 feet away and she can see the bus, but it's not that close yet.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's no urgency in it whatsoever. She runs slower than I walk.
I bet what happened was she was really good at running, and they were like,
you're going way too far.
We can't scoot this wheelchair that fast. We gotta keep this shit steady. We need you to run at a human pace. You've been smoking this whole time and
you're fine? Your lungs are just amazing?
Oh God.
Fucking fast zooms are so 1980s. This is when like it's just fucking 15 fast zooms in within the span of like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and so I don't know why she decides to go up the stairs.
She does though.
She goes up the stairs and and so we've been talking about this whole movie. Why do you see
It doesn't make. There's no reason for it to be there.
She goes up the stairs. She looks into like there's a door wide open, and there's just
a man's ass.
There's just there's first of all, it's a onesie with the butt flap down.
Yeah, it is.
And
if you think that's bad, it gets worse when he sits up. It's like a bear costume.
It's like somebody it looks like somebody kind of like kneeling at a bed, just like laying down.
Yeah.
And then you kind of notice, there's another set of legs hanging off the other way.
And some form of gyration. I don't.
Interesting. Yeah. And then it sits up, and it just keeps getting worse because first of all, the gentleman in the onesie, I'm assuming it's a gentleman.
Yeah.
It's not a. It's a goddamn bulldog costume.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of thing that you want to do with the door open.
Yeah, you don't want a mouth-fucked droopy dog and where people can view that shit. And like, but like it gets worse because like I don't think that's where it started, Jay.
No, it must not have.
The butt flap is open.
It is.
That's an ATM.
We're working on the tail end of this exchange. And then when they sit up, they look at Wendy like, excuse me? Can I get some privacy here while I make this dog suck my dick?
Why is that in the film?
It doesn't need to be there at all. Like later on, she goes into the fucking gold room and it's just skeletons and cobwebs. Like, just have that. That was just fine.
It could have literally been two skeletons falling over.
Yeah.
She runs it and then it's like, oh,
fine.
What were those skeletons up to? I don't know. Let's keep going.
Like, not only am I scared, but now I'm just confused.
And now I know.
Why is the hotel showing me this?
Why is there a mouth hole in that fucking dog mask?
Oh,
I get it.
Jeez. So she doesn't even do it. She just like runs past it like, okay, I'm not going to tell your wife what I saw you doing.
That reminds me of the time by my work, there's an alleyway where I've come to learn via just walking through it that's where people shit. That's where the homeless population is shitting.
Not what I expected you to say about the alleyway by your work.
Nah. I walked through it one day. I was like, smells like shit, and it's like piles of it, like not dog sized. And so the one day I was running through there because I was in a hurry to work, and I was running, and I like. There's just a dude shitting. Just saying shitting. I just fucking kept running. I ran the whole way to work.
You sense that like you have the shining?
Yeah.
Somebody in my vicinity is shitting.
Oh my God.
I can feel it in my bones.
I just kept going. I was like, huh! I was like, ah! No!
What else do you do, right? You can only just...
Oh boy.
Fuck's sake.
So, yeah, Jack follows Danny outside because he left the fucking door open.
Yeah, dick.
And
that's what I'm saying.
And you know, Danny's really good at hide and seek. By the way, he's just crouched behind the snowcat.
Yeah, it's not great.
Pretty neat thing to do.
I will say that this is the smartest kid in any horror movie we've done for this podcast, because when they find their way into the hedge maze, Danny realizes that his footprints are visible because, well, there's snow on the ground.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad that he noticed because that was my first thought. Is like
Yeah. So, like in Winnie the Pooh, he fucking backtracks through his own footprints and then erases them and runs another direction. Like a better version of what the guy does in Cabin Fever when he's getting chased.
Oh my God, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Smart ass kid right there. I probably wouldn't even have thought to do that, to be honest.
I wouldn't have either. I just would have blasted through the hedge walls and hoped that would have like slowed him down.
Yeah. So basically what's happening here is that Wendy is trying to find her son inside the house and he's already left it. So just a very long scene of Jack chasing Danny through the hedge maze, turning progressively into more and more of a mongoloid. Because he starts off saying real words and then by the end he's just like...
And just hobbling like a madman.
He looks like somebody should make a documentary about his life.
Like the Burt's Bees guy.
Yeah, but a sad one.
I mean, that's a sad one too.
It is. It's sad because of what happened to him, not the way that he was born. You know what I mean? Like he's turning into the fucking Elephant Man, and we should discuss this on Vice.
I feel like because he's out in the cold. It's either he's beginning to get hypothermia, which I doubt because he just took a step outside.
Also, Danny doesn't get it.
Or it's like it's kind of like when you walk away from the router and you get bad internet service. So he's like losing his signal to the hotel.
Okay, he's turning back into a real boy.
Sure. And he's also hobbling like a madman.
I was pissed because in the time it took for Jack to basically freeze to death, like Danny was out there for the exact same amount of time, and he's a small boy. So if anybody was going to die of freezing and hypothermia, it would have been Danny in this case. He's also only got a sweater on.
Yeah.
Jack's got a whole jacket.
And this is the dead of winter in Colorado on a mountain.
Yeah, like you'd be dead in 30 seconds. You'd at least be getting naked.
Yeah, because that's something that happens when you get hypothermia.
Yeah, it's called paradoxical undressing. Your body goes, I'm so cold, I'm hot, which is stupid. You'd think brains would be better than that.
You would think that you see snow and you go cold, but no, it's cool. Sometimes hot snow.
So this is what I was saying. Like Danny makes his way out of the hedge maze by following his own tracks. Jack, for some reason, goes, oh, my son's clearly not been down this way because I don't see any footprints. I'm gonna go this way. And then he gets so lost that he freezes to death. But he has an axe and the ability to climb. He also could have just hacked his way through. Listen, he was ready to do a lot of hacking. Okay? He had a job to accomplish. Just refocus that energy at hedges.
You've already blasted through 2 doors.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there. Get out. What if you're right on the edge? What if it's one hedge separating you from a snowcat right now? You know?
Yeah, just keep
Find
going.
out.
What a motivational section. This has been the motivational portion of the podcast. Get out there and
hack through those hedges.
Get in your hedge maze and just fucking blast through all the walls. Get your snowcat and you get the fuck away from your crazy dad.
Army of one.
Army of one.
No days off.
Wendy's long ass cigarette. Snowcat.
Furry fucking in the hotel.
Hey, sometimes you gotta mouth fuck the predator.
He did have those like fucking horny teeth, didn't he?
It was like a weird jowl.
Yeah.
But like with the mouth hole, it was very predator like. So get out there, do it.
Just get out there and do
it. Stab Jack Nicholson in the hand when he's trying to reach through to unlock the door. I love that he does that, by the way.
It was like a very small scratch and it like ruined his life temporarily.
Yeah. Well, both doors he uses the axe to like bust a hole in, and then he reaches through and unlocks it.
Just keep going.
I'm gonna have to repair this. I just want to do enough damage to get through.
Fuck's sake.
Put some duct tape up on that. I'm the caretaker.
The amount of work that he put into breaking down those doors, and then he's like, well, I need to be respectful. And use the lock. Anyway, fucking Danny gets out and fucking Wendy's in the snowcat that Scatman Crothers brought. So his trip wasn't entirely a waste for someone.
Thank you, Scat.
Yes, and rest in peace. And then this movie ends on, I know in my heart, in my fucking deep in my soul, that this was supposed to be like poignant and effective, but it's just a Jaxicle, and he's got like a monkey face.
He looks like he was frozen mid shit.
Yeah.
And he's really pushing.
Like it's been a couple days.
He's managed to show every single tooth on the bottom half of his jaw.
No uppers.
And
he's trying to offset Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, for real. And he's just like looking up, but at the same time forward. I don't know how he did that.
I don't know. He's in his own fucking... I imagine that's what your eyes do when you're dreaming.
Yeah. They're... Probably, and then the cold fucking peels your eyelids back because they snap open because they're so cold.
And then we get the slow zoom in on fucking Jack Nicholson in the picture, which not enough time was spent explaining why that happened.
No.
So just end credits. Oh, thanks for the confusing last scene of your movie. Well, like me as like a 10-year-old, I was like, why the fuck is he in the picture?
Fair enough.
Is that like his great grandfather? Did this movie just take place in 1920 and I've been fooled the whole time? Because I swear they said 70s. Like,
yeah, no, I get it. I honestly, I think it's like his soul is now there. Now,
yeah, he's part of the hotel now.
Yeah, they just add it exactly like Say Cheese and Die.
Yeah.
Fucking Jack, he gets frozen to death. He's a failure in every aspect. Everything he set out to do this entire movie. Take care of the damn hotel. He doesn't do that.
Keep it hot. Period.
Keep it hot.
He doesn't do that.
Not be racist. He doesn't do that.
I'm sure that was part of like there was somewhere in one of the clauses in the contract that he said he signed.
Like somebody, he didn't even murder his family. And he
didn't do that.
Promised he would. So yeah, and he had all these people in Denver vouching for him too.
That's true.
Like First of all, he's a school teacher who busted his son's arm.
Yep.
What are his qualifications? Other than he can tell you if you're writing cursive correctly and how to disable a young boy?
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh, what is it?
It's because he worked at a school, so now he's well equipped to become a janitor.
Ah, yes. Because
that's what the fuck he is at this hotel.
Those educations are very similar.
He's like, well, writing.
What? Writing notes so that he can be found after he dies, after he kills himself? Is that the notes he's writing as a janitor?
The interesting thing is Wendy left the book there. That's his fucking masterwork.
That's a good point.
He could have published that. Capitalize.
Yeah, pages and pages.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the kind of book you don't judge by the cover.
No, because it doesn't have one.
No, because it's paper covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is
The Shining.
That's the Shining. That's The Shining, Jay.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah. 8. You know what? It was good.
I didn't want to be too generous because I'm gonna be honest. Shelley Duvall is not that good of an actress. Probably to me, and this is with a child in the movie, the weakest one. Like her job is to have really big eyes for half the movie.
She does it well.
And then the other half of her job is to cry.
She looks like she would have fit well in Beetlejuice.
Yes, that's true.
She could have been just a stepsister in Beetlejuice. Well, I forget what's her name in Beetlejuice.
This is again, it's not Gina Gershon. I'm like fucking Gina Davis.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about
Winona Ryder.
They could have interchangeable right there, except for one's much older.
I hesitate to say that I had a crush on Winona Ryder in that movie because I'm pretty sure she's like 15.
Jay, you were probably 15 when you saw it.
I was probably younger.
That's fine then. That's fine. That's allowed. I'm really surprised we cracked this one out in a one part.
And 2.5 hours, not even the longest podcast we've done.
Not even as long as the film.
Yet. We could just sit here for 6.5 minutes.
Hey, we got, I still got to give you the films.
Yeah, let's go. Bring it.
Really surprised that this is not the longest one.
Really thought there was going to be like 6 hours of us talking about this fucking movie. But as it turns out, the movie itself, pretty slow.
Pretty slow.
And a lot of the stuff worth talking about is visual, and didn't really want to sit here like describing shots for an hour.
It's happened. That podcast has been done by some white dudes who think they know the best.
Yep.
We don't.
As opposed to just one and his help.
You're more than my help.
I certainly am helpful.
You're my boy!
Oh no! Yeah, call me boy instead. Like a cop in the LA riots. Whoops.
Red rum.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So during this podcast, because I was struggling I had my ideas. I came up with them at work. I sat here in front of you and had to write them down before this podcast.
And I let that happen to me.
I remembered the one that I actually came up with. So I got 4 for you this week.
Okay.
2 of them are the same theme, though.
That's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to...
Does that mean that I have to pick between them?
It does. I'm going to give you the 3. Mm-hmm. And then if you pick the one that has 2, I'll let you pick between the 2 of them.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you... I'm going to describe the one to you as soon as I describe that, you fucking know which one it is. You already know.
You're just aware. You just know that.
All right. So we've got horror movies about taking a job.
Okay. That's so vague.
All right. we got horror movies about being snowed in.
Yep. There's a couple of them.
And we got a horror movie about a hotel. Or that involves a hotel. There's a hotel.
I have a movie in mind, and I know that it's not on the list, so I'm just going to say it. It's called Cold Fear. It's Norwegian. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that movie would fit at least 2 of those, if not all of them.
Oh, well, that's none of them.
Hilarious. The scene now, you're telling me that I'm going to know right away the first one, and it makes me want to know it. Horror movies about taking a job. Well, I assume that... Oh, what's it called? Here Comes the Devil? House of the Devil? It's probably not that one, but that's what I was thinking about. It's the same, like, it's a woman who's, I don't think she's babysitting. I think she's just taking care of a house. And the house is haunted.
Okay. That's not it.
That's not it. Okay. Now, run these down again.
Horror movie about taking a job.
Yep.
about a new job. You're taking a job. You got a job now.
Sick.
Being snowed in.
Yeah.
A hotel.
I'm going to go with horror movies about taking a job because The Shining is essentially shot on one location.
Okay.
And let's change that up.
Okay. So
I don't even know if it will. We'll see.
So Jay.
Yeah.
You've picked the movie you picked the one that has two options.
Okay. Right on. I was kind of hoping.
Do you want a Nicolas Cage movie or not? Do you want a Nicolas Cage movie or do you not want one?
Let's fucking watch Willy's Wonderland.
That's exactly it.
All right. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, I know. I was. There's no being coy about it. As soon as it's Nicolas Cage, that's the one.
Let me tell you right to your face.
That's the movie.
I fucking really enjoy that movie.
Oh, good. I've not seen it, and I thought you were gonna hate it. So
it's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's exactly that, but they changed the name of it because they didn't want it to be. And now there's gonna be another Five Nights at Freddy's movies. Like this one didn't exist, and
it's
anyway.
Five Nights at Freddy's if you had more than 2 doors to open.
God damn.
All right.
I'm in. I'll let you know. You passed up The Thing.
Yeah.
And you passed up Vacancy.
Well, I'm glad because I would have fucking hated Vacancy.
Hey, they can't all be winners. They can't. I looked so hard for something about like a hotel that didn't look like trash. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry that it's like an Owen Wilson movie. I didn't know that.
First of all, it's a Luke Wilson movie.
They're the same Wilson. They got different colored hair, but they still wow the same.
They do still wow the same, and their noses are the same shape.
Yeah.
And it's a notable shape. I'm not
is.
saying anything positive or negative, just observable facts.
They're you swap their hair colors and you can't tell the difference.
It's true. I remember him in Jackass where they do they put 2 tasers on like an old World War II radio.
Yeah,
I don't know why that was so difficult for my dumb stroke tongue to pronounce. Anyway, they shock him and he's like, I actually feel energized now.
Yes, I remember that. So the other movie about taking a job was The Possession of Hannah Grace.
Now, that one I don't believe I've seen. Interesting. And you'd think, because I do like to consider myself an authority on possession movies with just the person's name in them.
But here
Not
we
that
are.
One. Yep. All right, man. Fucking Willy's Wonderland. I'm actually excited.
You're welcome, everybody.
Fucking love this movie.
It's been 30 episodes since we had a little Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's true.
So
he's gonna be peppered in here every so often. All right.
That dude needs to do more scary movies.
He's got an illustrious career. That man.
I want to see the one that's about him.
The one that's about him.
Yeah. Great Big Marvelous Talent or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen it like he's like walking through a museum and some guy just has all of his things. And he's like, oh, you got that from that movie.
That whole movie is just, I'm so big of a deal that it sucks. Like that's like the premise of the movie.
All right, let's go. I want to know, what's it like being buried in a goddamn tomb, Nicholas? All right, well, I'm
Grindhouse
stoked.
Movie Club.
I'm stoked.
Willy's Wonderland.
Glad that we got that out of the way. This whole Shining deal.
Fucking movie's pretty goddamn gory, so this is gonna be sick.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right, you want to end the podcast?
Next week, Vampire's Kiss. I'm just kidding. We'll never watch Vampire, and we might. I might make you watch it.